Mike and all right, guys, what is going on? What is going on? Sorry we started just a little bit late, but we are back with another podcast episode. This is episode number 10, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about, at least on the Dokkan side. Legends, I'm not so sure this week, but as usual, we've got the usual guys here. Sorry for the quick fix there with Tiger and Nolar's name. Tiger let us know a little late that he could not be here, and Nolar got home early, so I was like, all right, quick fix. Here we go. Boom. So here we are. So let's just go ahead and, of course, introduce ourselves as always. I think you guys know most of us, but hey, regardless, let's go ahead and do it. So obviously, I'm Talon. Guys, go ahead and say hello.
What's up, guys? It's Petey here. Let's do this. Week 10, right? Holy crap.
Yeah, no Laura here. Yeah, I didn't think we'd get this far, but here we are. So let's.
Gorish here. I did think we'd get this far, so I'm excited.
And Navsrachi here. I'll just be playing Kakarot until we get to the Legends portion of the discussion.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
All good.
All right. What?
Nope, we're good. Let's go.
Good.
All right, let's go. All right, so first topic, we're going to be starting with Global Dokkan as always, guys. Then we're going to move over to the JP, and then we'll take some questions, and then we're going to be going into Legends, all right? So anyway, so first up on the list that we have here for Global Dokkan is that Dragon Ball Super Heroes banner has returned. And definitely returned a lot earlier than a lot of people thought it would. But hey, we'll take it, right?
Listen, all I'll say is I got super lucky in the banner. I had like 20 stones, and I just did singles, right? I pulled 3 SSRs back to back to back on singles, which I will take. It was very nice. Anybody else?
I mean, golden cooler.
All that
That's
needs
all
to
I
be
have to
said
say about that.
I didn't pull them though, so it sucks.
means
Sorry.
you didn't really pull on the banner, right, Garosh?
Yeah.
No,
you
I
have to,
pulled Cumber, I pulled Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I pulled Fu, I pulled Master King. I mean, I got some pretty good pulls.
But they're not golden cooler,
He didn't get
so-
golden cooler. He didn't get golden cooler. I don't think you're a true Dokkan player there, Speedy.
I got the thickness of time. That's all I need.
Okay, we'll let you slide on that one.
We'll let you slide. Fine. Chat. Let us know. Does Speedy slide this time, or do we have to kick him officially for not pulling golden cooler? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments. Real quickly, just a quick side note for anyone who is not watching this live and you're watching this in video format later, there will be timestamps down below in the comment, like the first pinned comment. So if you're looking for a particular topic or anything, just go to those timestamps unless you don't want to watch the whole thing. So, all right. So, Gresh, did you do all your summons then for the Dragon Ball Superhero stuff? Did you post those already?
Yeah, I posted them a few hours ago today. I did pretty good. As of now, I have Cooler at 3 dupes, and then I have Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku at 3 dupes, which is the 2 that I really cared about the most. So I'm probably going to end up going back in, and then I'm just going to keep summoning until I rainbow the Cooler, and then I'll stop. In terms of other stuff I got, I rainbowed Fu. I got, I think, 2 extra copies of Supreme Kai Time because I actually got lucky, and I pulled her off of the last banner unfeatured.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
And then I got a few dues for everything else, so I'm in a pretty good spot right now. The only heroes units that I'm missing are the Bobbity Absorbed Boo and Adult Gotenks because they've both never been featured on Global. So, and you know the heroes banners have the 70-30 split, so it's like really hard to pull unfeatured units.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Gotenks like definitely fell on hard times, so you're not missing out on much.
Yeah,
He got his awakening early, so
yeah, he got super early.
that was during the 70% era. So
Yep.
he was good on the Tech's Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks team. Like that, he was good there, but
that was back
Yeah.
when defense didn't matter at all. So yeah,
Yeah.
he was good. That was like when Super Saiyan 3 Broly came out, I think, when he got his awakening, and they were both like only offense.
yeah, around that time, yeah. I mean, I'm reading in chat here. People are like, Dragon Ball Super, the heroes is a skip. Which, I mean, if you're a free-to-play player, more than likely it is. But some of these units are not bad. Like, I still contend that Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku is probably the best non-Dokkan Fest TO.
I
He's up there, yeah.
100% agree with that. Actually, yeah. I mean, again, like Noir said, you know, if you're a free-to-play player, if you don't, especially if you don't have any stones right now, and if you're trying to save it for a particular celebration, then yeah, something like this will be a skip for you. But I think if you're somebody who maybe has a good amount of stones saved up, or maybe if you just want to do a multi or two, you don't need to go crazy or anything. But a lot of these units are still relevant to this day, and a lot of them haven't even gotten awoken yet, and they're going to be even more relevant in the future. And just like you said, Super Saiyan 3 Xeno Goku, very, very good. Supreme Kai of Time is going to be amazing for throughout the rest of the game, most likely. So it's pretty crazy, especially because she picked up what was it, greatly raising defense on super
On
attack.
super.
Massively, yeah, that's what it was. It was massively raising defense. I was just like, okay, you can take her into the legendary Goku event and she's fine. She's absolutely fine. So
yeah, she's even better because you're going to float her, and so your biggest concern is can she take a hit on the back, and so she won't ever take a hit in the beginning unless you put her in the first slot, which I mean it's up to you if you would, but normally you wouldn't. So the fact that she massively raises her defense means that she's not taking damage on the back end, and that's even better.
I think when you're considering whether to summon on this banner or not, there's like a pro and con to it, because the pro is you're obviously guaranteed to get something good because it's a guaranteed featured unit, and literally every single unit is good. Obviously, like Vegeks and Gohanks or whatever are not the best, but they're not bad. So even if you pull the quote unquote worst unit on the banner from the guaranteed slot, it's not an L, right? You pulled something that you could use at least. On the other side, though, the banner gives blue coins, which is not really that good when you compare it to red coins and yellow coins. So that's something to keep in mind in terms of if you should summon on this banner or not, from my perspective. Especially on the global side, because we don't know what they're going to do with these banners. We saw them change the Piccolo banner. They could go ahead and change banners and make them worse, which I don't think they would do it, but it's just unpredictable these days. And with this banner, you know what you're getting when you summon, so it's really up to you.
Yeah, the other thing too, I mean, blue coins seem irrelevant, but if you don't have any of those, when the type banners come out, those type support units are purchasable. I think they're 300 blue coins, if I remember. And so they, depending on your team comp, you know, if a strength one comes out and it's either Kaba and hit, that hit is really, really good, guys. Like when he gets his awakening, he is pretty much better than the tech hit.
Sad.
Tech hit.
Very sad.
So
they just forgot about hit. They're just like, what? What's hit?
Yeah. But so the whole point is blue coins are useful for picking up those support type units who do get a really good awakening. I mean, it hasn't come to global yet, right? So it'll be further down the line. So if you want to stock up now, it's not a bad idea. So it's not a complete loss of something on the banners. The point I'm trying to.
Yeah. I mean, you could also buy other Kais too if you really need them, which you probably won't need them. But you know, it's always an option for blue coins to get those. I think it's like 10 for one.
It's 10 for one Kai. So if you're short a Kai on, say, your LR or something like that, 10 blue coins is not that bad. So
all right, so you want to talk about the double raid spinner? It's coming also to global, the waifu banner, which I think it's long overdue. No, I think it should have came
I
out.
remember what did that do? Didn't that like awaken the Kid Chi-Chi or something like that, and bring the launch and the one of the shadow dragons or something like that? Is that what they brought?
It's launch Oceanus, and then I think Chi-Chi awakens and Ribrianne awakens. That Ribrianne, by the way,
that Ribrianne's good. That Ribrianne's definitely really good.
Yeah, for Battlefield, I mean not Battlefield, Super Battle Road, there really is a handful of characters that fit into like the top 5 that you can like say for sure are the best units for that mode, and Ribrianne is one of them. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
I'm assuming nobody's summoning on the banner. Are you, Goresh, you summoning?
Oh no, I'm not summoning on that garbage.
Why not? It's the waifus, dude. You gotta get all the waifus.
So every single time, it's really weird though that they're doing this now, because every single time that they release a double rage banner, there's always something crazy hype that comes afterwards. But I don't think that's happening this time. I mean, what, they're gonna throw future Gohan at us after this? I don't really think that's too hype, unless they
is that what the banner
data way better.
Miners have?
Yeah. They said future Gohan's coming out on the 31st, so that's the thing.
That's only 10, 11 days away from now. So at least my time. Yeah, next Saturday or next Friday.
So the double race is coming what next?
On the 23rd. So in like 5 days.
like 5 days.
5 days. Okay, that's kind of weird because normally don't they put the waifu banners on like Valentine's?
Why would they do a like Valentine?
Well, this was the banner that you guys got. I don't remember when it was. It was a few months ago. This is the first time I think they've done a quote unquote waifu banner as a double rates banner, because usually they're just their own like types of banners. But I doubt anybody ever summoned on those, which is probably why they changed it.
It's true. And I mean, I just remember, I think on global, like when like the AGL Mai and some of those other like waifu cards came out, it was during. I remember it had coming out during Valentine, so I figured that would be the Valentine tradition of like, hey, here's a double rates waifu banner, kind of thing.
I remember that, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, yeah. Right afterwards, you said
Future Gohan, yeah. Afterwards.
That's a hard one, honestly. I think with Future Gohan. I mean, we're skipping on the list here, but
listen, Global gets Future Gohan while JP gets Blue Gogeta and like possibly Blue Vegeta.
Oh! It's our anniversary, okay? No matter what's gonna happen on Global, JP's obviously gonna shine through on their anniversary. Same thing's gonna happen, with any game. So
they're gonna change that banner. Just letting you know.
The Gohan banner.
Gohan banner.
Oh yeah.
I imagine 1 or 2 units is probably going to be changed. Yeah, I could see that. Yes.
I've been saying this, but I think actually more likely than not, Tech Trunks is going on that banner.
I mean,
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. No problem.
Because Tech Trunks, the only time he was, or not the only time, I think maybe actually was the only time. The first time he was back on JP was 300 million downloads. Same thing with Zamasu.
Yes.
So that's like, they're just sitting there on Global. They have no banner to come back on. So I guess this is a good opportunity to bring them back, especially knowing that no one's going to summon on this banner because it's terrible. And also, who's coming back on that banner? Hit. And you know what banner Hit was just on?
Christmas banner.
The Goku banner. Yeah.
Yep.
He was also the Step Up banner, which was... Oof.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably change Hit out for Tech Trunks.
Poor Hit.
It's okay. It'll be irrelevant in like 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... Yeah, well, I was just saying, if people want to skip Future Gohan, I can understand why. But with value of like Tech Trunks, the Dokkan Fest Trunks, like he's gonna be really good. He's a very good card. It's just the fact that you can't control his transformation. Because in the beginning, with pre-transformation, he's a support unit, and then post-transformation, he stacks attack, if I remember, and he can hit really hard. So I don't know. It's hard to like really tell people to go all in unless Future Gohan is your favorite card or you really need to get that Tech Trunks. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to kind of evaluate it for Global.
I do want to mention that Global had a big data download. When was it? Yesterday? Yesterday. And in the data download, there was actually more stuff than Super Dragon Ball Hero cards. They added cooler stuff in there.
Yeah, they also added Future Gohan stuff, right?
Yeah, so cooler stuff is in there. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku EZA is in there. So I'm guessing after Future Gohan, we're going to get cooler. So if you guys want to save for cooler and not summon Gohan, that's totally understandable. If you're a global player.
Yeah, save for cooler. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe bet. But if they do end up putting that Tech Trunks onto the Gohan banner, like those two work together very well. So that combination is already very like attractive to a lot of people. So that might convince a lot of people to summon, which I can't blame them for.
Because that way you get to summon for 2 units instead of 1, then, because you got to pull both the units.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's also the other Tech Trunks in there, right? The banner unit, so he could work along with the Gohan too. It's not like he needs a specific unit to work with.
I think it's any Trunks, right?
It's any Trunks, yes.
It's not Kid.
Yeah.
You can even use the
aside from Kid, I think that that should be about it. But yeah.
But I'm just saying that combination is very good. So it might.
Oh, it's very good. It's very good. Yeah. Heck, even that new Trunks that will be coming on the Gohan banner as well. He's actually very good. He's a very good Trunks to run alongside that Gohan if you don't have, say, the Tech Trunks, for example. So, although
Yeah,
funny enough, I think they're both Tech.
Yeah, they're both tech, and the banner non-Dokkan Fest Trunks. I mean, he's just gonna be on every featured, and on every banner unfeatured, but he'll be on every banner from here on out. So, don't feel like you need to go in just for that, for that card.
Didn't it also bring along the free to play 17 and 18, that Tech and STR ones? They stack attack and defense and all that stuff. Yeah,
it's
That's
there's a
not
story
bad there.
event. Yeah, those are really, really, really good. I did a showcase. I mean, I did a 16, 17, 18 only showcase, and they're fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They also Dokkan Awaken the physical Gohan.
Oh yeah, the OG physical Gohan. Yeah, finally gets his awakening. He's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did it so that we could farm the super attacks. Was that?
Yeah, maybe, but they also did it for the easy area. The
for the int Trunks.
Yeah, that one was, I don't know, like that one's okay. I don't really know too much about it because I haven't really looked into it that much, but from what I understand, people weren't happy with it. Is that the case? Do you guys remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just did it blindly because it was something to do. I don't think I think he's just okay. Nothing too outrageous in my mind.
Oh, not the unit. I'm talking about like the actual event, like the easy area.
Yeah, it was an area, but it's on its own separate thing. Like it's not with the continuing like Goku's and Piccolo and Gohan one. Like that one's like on our on. It had its own separate like event thing, and I forgot what was needed. I think you actually had to have the physical Gohan.
You need to have physical Gohan and the androids for that easy A.
That's right. That's what it was. Yeah.
Free to play Trunks. Yes. So I mean, obviously the androids are already worth it to farm it up already. Gohan, you do want to farm up actually. At least you don't need to put orbs into him or anything, but at least get him up to the whole SA10 and Awaken thing, because his leader skill is the best that you are very limited to when it comes to that easy area event. He gives 2 ki and 40%, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
So make sure you have him if you want to awaken that Trunks, that free to play Trunks.
It's just being on easy areas in general. Like they started off with the farmable, the free to play cards, right? But they had their own separate events. Like in the Dokkan events section of the events, it's like its own separate area. But now they're just doing all these cards and they're putting them in this long giant events list. Yeah, and they're just adding to the list as it goes on. So do you think, just as a question of discussion, do you think they're done with like story mode events, easy areas?
Oh, so instead of doing the one that they did for Trunks and the one that they did for the
Goku and Vegeta,
the Goku and Vegeta cards, they're just gonna simply make it one long one now.
Yeah, and that's pretty much like up all the time, more or less.
That one's just the like a hero extermination one, right? All those cards are the ones that
yeah, it's
Dokkan Awaken from there.
Yes, so you are right about that. Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna say no, but don't be surprised if they just, obviously all the hero extermination cards will get their awakenings there. I expect obviously like STR Oob will get one. The Tech Majin Vegeta will get one.
Physical Boo,
right?
Yeah.
Physical Boo, that kind of stuff. They'll all get easy A's or their awakenings in there probably. We'll have to wait and see what year 5 does though, because if they bring in some, I'm assuming we'll see some new free to play card that would probably either get its own easy area stage. So maybe they'll do that. I'm not really sure though.
Probably get one of those units that has their own orbs and stuff. Easy.
Probably,
A's.
yeah. I definitely expect that.
Well, because the ones that had their own orbs, they've had regular traditional easy A's, not easy areas.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just I'm not exactly sure what they're doing, and of course, I don't think Akatsuki knows what they're doing either. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay. Alrighty. And then so I don't know exactly what this is all about. Price adjustments for Iceland and Japan? I haven't seen anything
Oh,
about
that was on global. Basically, they just changed the prices in these countries in the global side version of the game. I don't know.
So,
Okay.
Who's in Japan playing the global version?
People have accounts there. There's a lot of people on Twitter who post that, like Japanese players. They do.
But they
I don't think they're spending money, but they have it for like purposes of like seeing what's going on, and like I know some people actually do play it a little bit, but I don't really know if they're like going deep into like the shop. So I don't know if that's really relevant.
Okay, I was just curious because I mean I put that there because I was like I'm just trying to get a count of like is it really prevalent?
They're playing the superior version even in Japan. Okay, I just want to say
Yeah, agreed.
All right. And I think I don't know what else is.
Pretty much EZA Cell is the last topic for global that we know of right now.
Yeah. Not really much to say about him. He's good. I'm glad they got him out of the way so we can get on to better things. Like the 7 EZAs that we still haven't gotten yet.
Is there an ETA on that?
Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku.
I think they should be coming with Gohan, if I'm not mistaken.
They said February, so
yeah, and then Gohan should be coming in February. So I imagine it's going to be in the same celebration, which would push back Vegeto Blue even more. So cool.
The global first. Yeah, I know.
Honestly, we're probably not even going to get that until like April or March, something like that. I could imagine that happening.
I mean, I imagine. See, the thing is, they if they were gonna do it, they would do it for future Gohan because to make it the theme of future, like it would kind of make. But then again, like I said before, Akatsuki doesn't really know what they're doing, so.
Well, the only thing of that is that they already like teased the 7 EZA, so they're going to do 2 at the same time. Are they going to have that and a different one coming up at the same time?
I mean, they did that for JP, but I don't know if they're going to do that for global.
I could see them doing it. I mean, if they did the EZA for Vegeto Blue or the Kaioken Goku or whatever, which one they pick, that's related to future, because again, future Gohan, and then they did the 6 units on the side, they could do that because isn't there one of those units is future themed, isn't he? Or maybe I'm guessing wrong. Oh, or if there's androids ones, that's kind of connected to Trunks and Gohan.
Yeah, it kind of works too. I mean, because when we had on JP, it was like EZA Cell. Then like a week or two later, it was the 7 EZAs, and it was within the same celebration. So, like, it's not unreasonable for them to do it. But like I said, that was the JP team that did that. I don't know if global team would do that.
Yeah. So alongside Future Gohan, they actually released Kaioken Blue Goku on JP, and then they also did the EZA area for that Trunks we were talking about. So I don't know if they're going to do that again. They might do the 7 units and then Blue Kaioken Goku together, like in the same celebration.
That would be nice.
Which,
that would
be cool because we just got we didn't just get it, but a few weeks ago at this point we got the global exclusive Kaioken Blue Goku, so that would work well.
I mean, everybody else got him but me, so
yeah.
It was nice. Going 1,000 stones, not getting anybody.
I honestly though, like if you were gonna ask me like when I thought Vegeto Blue was coming, I'd probably say March.
I'd say that's probably a good bet right there, probably.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Is that everything for global Dokkan?
I believe it is. Yes, actually. At least that we have on the list, unless you guys can think of anything in the list next like 10 seconds.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So switching gears on over to JP then. The V Jump hype. It's starting, boys and girls. That data download countdown is probably gonna happen on like Tuesday, probably. Not to show off anything, obviously, just to simply get the countdown background pictures and everything. And then probably some login bonuses leading up to the year 5 anniversary. But V-Jump did show us a few things. So the first one is the free-to-play card that we always get at the beginning of the celebration, which is the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but not Super Saiyan God Goku for some strange reason. I'm not sure why. That was a little weird, personally, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely weird. I would have definitely expected Super Saiyan God, but I guess since they're doing maybe my reasoning was since they're maybe doing like a God team or something, like a blue team. I don't know. I don't
Does
know.
anybody like Super Saiyan Blue more than God? Just asking.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand it either. I think it's really stupid.
If you talk Vegeta, I definitely prefer God Vegeta over Blue Vegeta.
I prefer God, Goku, and Vegeta over Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. So
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody like Blue more than God? Like, I don't think anybody does.
There might be a few, but I definitely prefer red over blue.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. We've seen blue so much that I'm kind of tired of it. So it's at first I thought blue was better. Or like I liked blue more than God, but now it's just the fact that I've seen it all the damn place. I want more Super Saiyan God cards or representation.
Right. Yep. No, I definitely would agree with that. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Do you guys think he's going to be a support unit? Do you think he's just going to be some kind of somewhat?
I think he's gonna be just a throwaway character.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be blue. There's no way.
Well, I mean, because Super Saiyan 3 and the Super Saiyan 4, they were both support units. Granted, Super Saiyan 3 and 4, you wouldn't really put over obviously the LRs or the Dokkan Fest exclusives of that, but they're at least somewhat usable. So
He'll be a support unit for. He might be a support unit for Realm of Gods, but then you're gonna have to not run the
AGO's
the two really good blue. Yeah, or the one that just awoken on global. The physical
one.
Yeah,
the physical one. Yeah. So that would.
I hope for the anniversary if they do the God stuff. I hope the Super Saiyan Blue Agility Goku awakens or gets an EZA. That would be crazy.
Well, because he Dokkan awakened with the AGL Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken medals, he'll in order for him to get his EZA, which I think he will, it'll have to be the AGL Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken like EZA event coming. Like that's the only way they'll awaken.
For an EZA, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that would be hype. So let's talk about who do you guys think, or I guess the next topic is stickers. What do you guys expect?
So the way that it was worded is that we get the stickers are going to allow us to change the background art
to the cards.
Yeah, effects to the card. But the way I personally read it, it sounded like you could only use it on one card. It was a little unclear on that.
I don't think it mentioned that. I just think it says you can only use it on certain cards. So certain cards, specifically.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if it means like Dokkan Fest exclusive because they show the family Kamehameha Goku there.
Right. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So it literally what it's saying is, you can change the like the sparkly effect on the card, which is also known as a diamond background, on Ichibu, which is like a certain like a specific I guess like amount of UR characters. So like only certain ones are basically going to be able to get changed like that. So I don't know what that means, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right. What do you think?
But yeah, you can like add effects to them too. Like you see like the Dragon Balls are on one of them. I don't really know what else they could do there. Like maybe add like fire or something. Maybe add like a Krillin blowing up. I don't know.
Krillin blowing up. What I was expecting, I'm not exactly sure. I guess we'll find more whenever the live stream comes out, and they'll spend like 40 minutes on it because that's what they'll do, and not talk about like the hyper stuff. But what I'm expecting is just like you can change the backgrounds, kind of like the home screen, like we have those backgrounds. It's kind of it, and I think it's cool. I mean, just more customization, like that's always nice, but it's not a feature I'm like clamoring for. So. It's a cool thing, but it's it's just there. That's what it is.
Right. Okay. Any more stuff on the stickers then, or going to the next part?
I can move on.
I heard something about the stickers saying that if a person or a character has the sticker, they get like extra bonuses while in battle. Was there like completely wrong?
That doesn't say that at all.
I didn't see that in the V jump. So if that was a leak from a data miner, then we'll have to wait and see if that's true. But as of the V jump, officially, it didn't say anything like that.
Yeah, somebody said like, oh, you pick up like double items or something. I don't know.
No,
That's most likely wrong.
Yeah, I think that sounds like more like speculation than anything.
Yeah. All right. So then going into the next one, which is number 3 on the V jump, was the skill orbs. We don't know if this is the same thing as equipment, but it looks like it'll be a special Whis training event. And the examples that they had in the V jump was that it had the int logo, and then I believe it was additional, and then it
okay,
had
so
tech and
I have it up right
dodge,
now.
Yeah.
It's AGL for
AGL.
dodge, and
right.
then tech for additional. But I don't think that means anything. I think it's just saying. So the skill orbs are directly going to affect your potential tree. Basically, is what it's saying, and it's gonna increase like the power or whatever that you can use for your like effects. But I don't really think that's what it's gonna do. I think it's gonna be basically you get these skill orbs from the Whis event, and it takes X amount of them to power up. Like, let's say there's an additional node, like where you choose like additional or crit, or let's say, and you choose additional. I think once you use those skill orbs on that node, then it's going to give you like an extra 2 chance of like extra 2% chance of getting an additional attack if you use it there. That's what I think it's going to happen. That's what I think it's going to do, but we'll have to see.
So basically, it's another.
Go ahead.
No, you go finish your thought.
Oh, but basically what it is it's just powering up what we already have. It's not anything new. But I think it is going to come into effect a lot because let's say you, for physical LR Trunks, if you give him, I don't know, like he already has 20 additional and you can power that up to, let's say, 30, like that's going to have a big impact.
Yep. Yeah, for me, I was thinking that, I was thinking on the same long lines that you were saying, except that instead of just powering up one like additional attack stat, for example, you could just replace one part of the tree. Like, let's say, you know how like AGO gets the free 5 additional attacks, right? But what if you want to just change that specific node to be a crit node, for example? I thought that's what it would be, or at least that's what I'm thinking it would be. I'm just speculating here. I'm like, have no knowledge whatsoever, but that's when I was like hearing about it, that's what I was thinking in my head. It would how the effect would turn out.
Maybe, but the V jump specifically, that's like the wording of it makes me think that's what it's going to do. It's going to just power up what's already there.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Make your hidden potential even more powerful. So I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking.
Speedy, thoughts?
I agree with Goresh. I think it's gonna just increase the overall, like from 20 to 30, for example, like you said. I mean, it's gonna be broken, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, like SGR cooler getting more additionals. Like, yes, please.
Yeah, or Kalen Caulifla.
They should limit it on some characters unless they plan on making the events harder. This is gonna make Dokkan.
They have to, because I don't know how big of an impact this is gonna have. Really, like, what if it's just like a 2% increase? Like, it's not really gonna be that big of a deal. But if this thing gets big and like characters are getting like an extra like 40 additional, like this is not going to be good in the long run.
I mean, yeah, it's not good for the game. Like the game, you can literally play it blindfolded now. Like imagine then. Like there's no point. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's nothing too game breaking to the point where like it makes the game just too easy to play. Because I don't want that personally.
Right. Yeah. Well, to see exactly just how far they take it. Again, if it's just something like a 2% increase and it's meant to help those players who don't have dupes or something like that, then okay, fine. We'll have to wait and see though exactly what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I feel like there's going to be another meta shift because we're kind of overdue for one for a while. Other than different style of events, we haven't had a real defining meta since categories dropped. How long ago was that? Like 2 years?
250 million download celebration. That was the Gogeta and Omega, wasn't
No,
it?
it's 200, not
200.
200 million. Yeah.
So I feel like with the introduction of these new equipment slots, if they're going to power up, your units, like the way I see what they're doing is it's not meant for like people who rainbow stuff like me and Truth or whatever. It's more meant for the people with 55%. And if they tune the difficulty just a tad more, then there's a possibility that you can't finish it, which is why they threw these equip slots in there. You know what I mean? So like
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, to wrap it up, I just feel like if that's the case, if they're going to introduce this, then the difficulty tuning is going to go up.
Yeah, and then I also think something else to note too is that this is only going to help people who already have these potentials unlocked for their characters. So like if you're a player at 55%, like the way I'm assuming this is going to work, it's not going to affect anything for you. It's only going to affect people who already have, dupes in their characters. So like if you have the like the node for like crit or additional picked, then you're not gonna be able to upgrade that unless you've actually like unlocked that node. So let's say you're a free to play player, I guess, and you have you pulled, I don't know, the new Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku. I guess you can go into that top left area where he gets like the free whatever he gets. I guess he would get dodge because he's an int unit, and you could power that up because it's there for free. But like for any of the other nodes that you have, like you wouldn't be able to touch those, I assume, because you wouldn't have those unlocked yet. So I think this is more so aimed towards people who have like a well-established box and who can make use of this. So I don't really know if this is going to technically be that good for the game, just based on what we know.
Was there 3 equipment slots like confirmed? 3 of them?
I think those were just types of like. So we have like what, bronze, silver, and gold. That's what it was. I don't know if that means that you can only use 3 on one character, or if that's just the 3 different types of equipment that there are in the game.
How many slots do you think there's gonna be? Like
I don't know. For all we know, it could be for every node.
That would be too much.
That would
That's
be
what I'm saying.
pretty crazy.
We just don't know enough about it right now to really make an informed judgment about like if this is good for the game or not. But I'm just saying, like, it could get out of hand really fast because the game is already too easy. So I think this might just not be that great for the game, but we'll have to see.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. All right. So then going on from there was the weird new characters to recruit, which had the Kid Vegeta, the Kid/Baby Broly, and the Zamasu, which was very similar to the AGL Zamasu silhouette, but it is a little different. What do you guys think those are meant to be?
Free-to-play characters? I have no idea.
It seems like the what we just talked about, the Future 1718, like they're from story events that you can farm. They could also have their own potential orbs, which would mean that I think that every year we've gotten farmable like last year was the Giru, where we can farm his card, get his own orbs, and then he didn't get an EZA, right?
No, he didn't.
No, he did not.
But like the Kid Goku and the Kid Vegeta, they got their own orbs and they got their own EZAs, right?
Yeah, you mean the junior ones? Yeah.
The junior ones, the junior ones. So it could kind of go. It's like either farmable event story event or a event that you can get their own orbs and potentially get their own EZA. So that's what I think.
I definitely see Kid Vegeta and Kid Broly get the same thing as the Kid Goku and Vegeta Jr.
Well, the interesting thing for me when I look at that is like the types of characters that they're showing off here. Obviously, we have Kid Vegeta and Kid Broly. Both of those are from the Broly movie, and then we have Zamasu, who's from the Goku Black arc. So, what events could they be part of? Are they going to release? Because those two don't fit together in any way. Are they going to put an event out that's just like going through like the history of Dragon Ball Super? Because I know this is supposed to be. I mean, we're assuming it's going to be a God Key celebration, but what if it's just a Dragon Ball Super celebration and they just make one big story event and it's going through like all of the different arcs of Super? Like I know one time we had, I think it was for like the anniversary of the anime or something, and it was like going through the different arcs. Like there was like one stage per arc, so like maybe this could be something like that where we just go through the different arcs of Super, and like maybe it's like 2 stages per saga or something.
Oh! Somebody said Zamasu's for Vegeta Blue.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating. It could be like that. Maybe they have one Goku Black story event, and then they have one Dragon Ball Super Broly story event. One is for Gogeta Blue coming out, and then the other one is for Vegeto Blue coming out.
And then I guess Broly. I don't know where that would fall in. Maybe part 2.
Well, Vegeta Blue kind of like associated with Broly, right?
Yeah, Vegeta Blue.
Yeah.
And Gogeta. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can just go straight into that now. Theme appears to be God Key, which means SSB Go. I mean, the SSB Gogeta, I think, is 99% confirmed due to the collab figures and all that stuff. So assuming that he is obviously going to be the main unit, the second unit then obviously is a lot of people are thinking either going to be Vegeto Blue, however he gets to blue, whether he starts as blue, transforms, whatever, or it's going to be a Dragon Ball Super Broly. If I just had to ask you guys right now, just one or the other, which one do you think it is going to be? Vegeto or Broly? Which one?
Vegeto, they like money.
I had to go with Vegeto as well.
Yeah, I'm going with Vegeta.
I'll go with Broly then. All right.
The contrarian, Speedy, the contrarian
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I want it to be Broly, but it's not going to be.
Yeah, it's an anniversary, and yeah, like you said, Gogeta and Broly will make a lot of money, but Gogeta and Vegeto will make more money for year 5. It's
I mean, if you look at the history, it's only year 1 where we had a Super and Extreme Dual Dokkan Fest on the anniversary. Every other anniversary.
We're underestimating the hype of Dragon Ball Super Broly too. I think Dragon Ball Super Broly is like, I wouldn't say like he's at Vegeto hype, but he's there.
He's up.
They'll
there.
release
No,
him. They'll release him, but it's not going to be during the anniversary. I mean, it's not going to be the headlining of the anniversary. Like they could go ahead and throw him in during part 2 and like
on the top.
Yeah, like a legendary summon banner. They could throw him in there, but I think the headlining units, when they're really expecting to get the most out of the sales for this celebration, it's going to be Vegeto.
I mean, I agree with Goresh. I want it to be Broly because that would be different, but they want to print money, and what prints money better than Gogeta and Vegeta?
Pretty much nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
All right. So then the final thing that came with the V-Jumps information was the 55th summon for an LR. Tickets are given on login/missions, and the 55th ticket, I don't know if it's a single or multi or whatever, will be a guaranteed LR. Thoughts on that?
Okay, so I have two questions. I have a question. Is it a new unit that everyone's going to get on the 55th ticket, or is it a guaranteed just out of the, like the LR banner that we just had for New Year's? Is it just one of the LRs? Like, I don't know what the phrasing.
I think it's gonna be just a pool of like the current LRs we currently have. I don't think they're gonna give like the new LR away. It's no way.
It doesn't specify, but I would imagine it's gonna be just like a pool of LRs that we already have, and it's gonna be one of those.
Probably,
Yeah.
but it will probably stop at like before, it'll probably be like a combination of like the 90% leads and then a few of the ones that came after that. I doubt they would put in like I can't see Tech Broly being in there.
I think they should just put in everybody that's came out before.
They should.
I don't know why.
They should, yes, but will they is obviously the question.
I saw a lot of stuff about the multi as well. I saw somebody say that it's gonna be like a 55 multi summon. Like
there's nothing about that at all. It's literally one sentence in the V-Jump. I'm looking at it right now.
If anything, like what do year 4 when they introduced the GT trunks, the Super Saiyan trunks? So like it's just we got tickets, so it's like a multi of 5 units. So like your 11th multi will give you a guaranteed LR, right? I think.
Make it 55 multi summon ticket. So they're going through 55 units, dude.
Yeah, it's like the Frieza, like the full power Frieza ticket from the. That was so weird.
How would your screen even look? 55 units on there.
You would have to scroll down.
I would enjoy that more than doing like 5 different, multis, or 11 different multis.
Yeah, I have to take those long screenshots just to fit everything in there.
2 screenshot multis though.
55. Wait, it took 2 screens to get the 20, right? Gresh?
Unskippable too.
It didn't take 2 screens. It was just like it was like overlapped with like the summon button. It was like really weird.
Yo, make it happen, please.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so-
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's just free tickets, right? And they're just
Yeah.
saying that there's a guaranteed LR because last year there were LRs in the banner in that free ticket banner, but they weren't guaranteed LRs. So I think this is just them saying like, oh, you're gonna get one regardless.
Okay,
Yeah,
is
that'd
that
be cool.
is that everything on the ticket stuff? Pretty sure we.
Pretty sure, yeah. The last couple things to talk about is the speculation on when the live stream is gonna be for the year 5. So for those of you guys who don't know, or maybe if you're a global main only, they haven't really done it before. They did it last year during the part 2 celebration for year 4. And then we had that live stream for the 300 million download celebration. And then what was it? 2-3 weeks ago, back in late December, they had said that there was going to be a live stream to announce the winner of those the background art for like when you turn on the game.
Yeah, the wallpapers.
Right. And so we're expecting that that's also going to be a reveal for the year 5 celebration, and then show off the new unit's super attack and see what they do. If I had to venture a guess, I still think that's going to happen, obviously, just because, again, of the Twitter post. I would probably say next Sunday on the 26th Japan time, probably, or that Saturday. One of those 2 days is when the live stream will probably happen.
That should be like when the countdown is at like 3 days left or 2 days left, which makes sense. Because I always thought they were gonna wait till like the last second to reveal it.
Yeah, they're not going to reveal them too early into the into the month. They want to keep it secret from us until the very end, and then it's like, oh, by the way, 2 days left. Boom, here are what the units are going to be. Buy your stones now, folks.
Yeah, the funny thing about that though is usually from the like teasers of the countdown, we can pretty much figure out who the hype units are going to be. So it's really not going to be that big of a shock, I would imagine. But there was like that twist in year 3 where it was like the full Namek thing, and then it was like Vegeto and Gogeta. That was kind of weird. So maybe they'll do something like that again. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead, Noah.
No, I was gonna say like what's funny with year 3. How long after year 3 did we get transforming Goku and Vegeta? I mean, Goku and Frieza.
It was like 5 or 6 months, maybe 6 months, I think, because that was during the 250 million downloads, right?
Yep.
So that was in August. So yeah, about 6 months later.
Okay. So my thought was they were going to release the transforming. Like looking back on it, like I think they thought they were going to release the transforming Goku and Frieza for the anniversary, but as they were leading up to it, whatever team A or B, whoever it was like, no, that's not good enough. That's not going to make us enough money. We're going to switch it over to these LRs that we planned, but we'll just throw it in now. And it was hype. Like it made a lot of money for year 3, but thematically, like leading up to it, it was all Namek. And we're all like, okay, it's got to be Goku and Frieza. Like that's an iconic moment. Like that's what it's got to be. But then they had to switch up on us. I think I'm just speculating with hindsight here. That's what happened.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the weird thing about the Frieza and the Gokus, they're not even from Namek. They're like golden Frieza and like blue Goku that are like the Namek. The SSR versions of those cards are Namek art, which is like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's why I think like they were gonna go like base form Goku into Super Saiyan, and then the first form Frieza into final form as like the Dokkan Fest of year 3. But they're like, no, we're gonna make them go all the way to golden and blue, and then, but that's not gonna make enough money. I think that there were some decisions made that changed it because, like you said, the whole theme was Namek until we got the leaks, and we're like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's right. The whole thing was really weird. I still don't have an explanation.
Yeah, that's like my theory of what happened, but I could be completely wrong. But that's how I justify.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see, though. Just again, by this upcoming week / next week, we'll pretty much know anything. I do wonder though if the French data miners will do, because back during the 300 million download celebration, didn't one of them do a stream revealing the information? Obviously, I know all of it wasn't 100% accurate, but I mean it was like 95% accurate. Do you think they'll get?
Yeah, I
do
think
that
it
again for
was
the
during
units?
Goku and Frieza. They did show off the transformations and everything.
Right, and then they did it for Cell and Gohan.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that too because we made videos on it.
Yep. Hashtag Team Cell until we found out the extra information.
I don't think they've ever done it for an anniversary though. I think it's only been for the million
The downloads. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever leaked the anniversary stuff because I'm pretty sure whoever's keeping that tight-lipped, they're keeping it real tight.
Well, last year wasn't that much of tight lips because last year actually the cards got leaked. I mean, like the poses got leaked.
Yeah, but it was so funny as everyone thought it was like completely unreal. They just wrote it off like that's complete garbage, and then it got revealed that those were legit.
Maybe they're already out right now. Maybe we just don't know. Maybe we think it's fake.
You guys are talking about the Super Saiyan 4 stuff?
Yeah.
So okay, the funny thing about that was when that stuff originally leaked, like the images, like everyone was like, "Oh, it's fake! Oh, it's fake! Oh, it's fake!" And then I spent at least an hour and a half trying to look for the original source of that image, and I could not find it for the life of me. Like it was nowhere. I was doing like reverse Google image searching. I was literally like I was scouring the internet for those images somewhere because I couldn't find a source for it, and like literally I was doing like reverse Google image searches. I was doing like there was a Japanese sentence in there, and I was searching that, nothing was coming up. So I said like, "Look, these these actually might be real because I can't find a source for these, so I wouldn't write them off yet." And it turned out being real. So I don't know. Nothing like that this year though.
There was this only one guy saying it was real, and he was saying like multiple times it was from a guy that worked there. He said these are 100% real, and nobody believed them.
Well, I think they were real. I don't know if they were from somebody who worked there, but
that's what he was saying. That's what the guy was saying. That's all I remember, and nobody believed them. Like, there's no way these aren't real. And long and behold, Super Saiyan 4s. Pretty sure that guy got fired though.
Maybe that's why we don't have any more leaks.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right. So then I think the only other last thing to really talk about when it comes to JP then is the STR support type units getting their awakenings. I think mostly hits. Kaba is obviously still really good, just like, the Gohan, the Vegeta, and all that stuff. But hit is, I think, up on everyone else's radar due to the fact that he basically overshadows the tech one except for leader skill. Is that how everyone still feels, or has everyone changed their mind again?
No, I think the new hit's just like better than the old one every way. Like literally, just nothing you would ever want to use the old hit for again, except for like
U6 leader.
Yeah, or Universe 6 leader skill, because that's really good.
The only problem I have with the strength hit is just that the only teams he works on is Universe 6, and of course Realm, not Realm,
Universal Saga,
Universal Saga, but then you can have multiple leads for that. So yeah, you can use them there potentially. The only team that I used him on was like Target Goku, but he has no synergy with anybody there.
Oh yeah, Target Goku category. Yeah, I forgot about that category.
Yeah.
You and everybody.
Yeah, seriously. I had to actually ask people on Twitter to put their leads so I could use. Like I took any like even like 0%. I took it because there's nobody running Android 13 leads. But anyways, yeah. So my only issue is like in terms of using extreme support strength hit is that like there's not a lot of categories to use him on. But if you use him as strictly extreme strength, he's like amazing, He could like his defense shot up. Like I maybe gave him like 10 orbs. It was like over 700,000 defense. Like Jesus.
Actually, this guy in chat brings up a good point. The old hit's really good for super attack farming. You can raise the new one super attack with him.
But yeah, so he's like I had him on main rotation. Again, I put him on Target Goku team, which he has no synergy. He did not link with anybody, so I just put him on first slot just to see how his defense was, and it just held up every time. And the fact that he generates his own orbs, like, dude, it's just
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that they made them complete opposites of each other, basically, because the new one is like a defensive god, and the old one is literally 0 defense. And it's not like the new one is that bad offensively either. Like, it's just, I would say the tech one still hits harder, but the ability to just support your your extreme strength allies is just like, I don't know. It makes him have a longer of a longevity to him, because the other one's eventually just going to get out power crept. But having that support ability makes this guy just a lot more useful, I think.
Nah, I definitely 100% agree with that. So, plus, you know, the one biggest thing I think that he has over tech, obviously, is the fact that he just makes STR cooler an even bigger god.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, there's nothing else to say. They just, I don't know why they made him so good. I'm not complaining, but I just am confused as why he is as good as he.
He's just good.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
Questions?
Yeah. So I believe you posted the questions.
So yeah, I took about 7.
Okay. So the first question here, then, for Dokkan. So we're again for anyone who's still with us alive, we're obviously doing the questions for Dokkan. Then we're going to move over to the legend stuff. So question number 1: do you think Dokkan should focus more on free to play players?
I think it should be evenly split. Maybe a little more not, because I mean they gotta make money. So
are they pretty free to play friendly already?
yeah, it's already free to play. Like,
yeah, it's pretty free to play friendly.
I mean, I think the overall mission and goal of any developer of any gacha game is that it should just be an enjoyable game. Now, at the very base level is your free to play players, and they should be able to have an opportunity to complete the content and enjoy it. And if you at least give them the opportunity, then I think that's fine. Now, if you want to monetize, I mean, that's a whole other discussion, but monetizing your player base, it shouldn't be the focus of how fun the game is, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no games out there that do that I play daily. That isn't Dokkan, aka Legends.
Alrighty. So next question going on then is, of the 120% leads, who's the best in today's category meta? Who do you think will have the best EZA for the 120s?
Shrink Super Saiyan for Goku.
You think he's the best now, or he'll be the best of the EZAs?
I think he's the best now. I don't think he's gonna be the best of the EZAs.
So I will say, I personally think, personally, I think they don't need to go into the EZAs for the 120s just yet. There are a ton of other cards that need actual good EZAs. But if we're going to stick to the question about the 120s, I think Physical Cooler is the best of the 120 leads.
Also agreed.
He holds up so well
That's
today.
Biased,
and then in terms of who will have the best EZA for 120, I mean, that's always hard to guess just because of how they've done things in the past. But if I had to take a wild guess, I would still keep it at Physical Cooler probably, because no matter what happens, he just simply gets a nice little buff. You put him on STR Cooler's team, he's going to be just crazy good.
Oh yeah, I'll change my opinion then. I think Cooler's the best. I forgot about Strength Cooler.
Well,
don't worry, guys. Don't worry. He's a global main. He'll know the true power of Cooler when he comes out. Don't worry.
I think Physical Cooler, I agree. He's probably best used now as is. Like, he's aged extremely well. I think Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, you can make an argument that he's aged pretty decently too.
He's aged pretty good, yeah.
So those two are probably still really good today as is. But who will have the best EZA? To me, when you say best EZA, who's going to have the biggest change and the most use? And the two candidates there is either Super Saiyan 3 Broly, but I think it's going to be Kid Buu that will get the most, get the best from what my definition is.
You stole my answer. God damn it.
What about Tech Broly?
Tech Broly's already the best one, so I mean.
I guess.
Yeah.
So I think obviously right now I think physical cooler is the best. Who do I think is going to be the best? Probably Strength Janemba, but I think in terms of who I'm looking forward to the most, I would say Kid Buu, just because I like physical Kid Buu a lot, but I feel like they fulfill different roles, and this is a good opportunity for them to actually make like a really good like main rotation Kid Buu that we haven't gotten ever, because this one's never been good at all. So maybe give him like some base key that he gets in his passive. So like maybe start turn he gets like 3 key or something. That would help him out a lot. Because I don't think they're gonna actually at this point go back and redo the links. It's been what 5 years with the same stupid Majin link that he has, and they haven't touched them ever.
Unfortunately,
so
yes.
I think I'm looking forward to Kid Buu the most. But I think Janemba is gonna be the best because of the stupid ability to just have take no damage ever from anything, and he already has dodge built into his kit as well. So they really don't have to do anything to him. Just give him better stats, and he's already really good.
I 100% agree with that. So, all right, going to the next question. With Kakarot, when are we getting Saiyan Saga Dokkan Fest exclusive Kaioken Goku and Grade 8 Vegeta?
I don't think so. I mean, they've already done it by now, right? They would have announced something.
Yeah, because they went through the saga.
Gohan.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure at some point we're gonna get them. When? I have no clue. It's gonna be a while.
I can see it in March actually. Like when Global and
Saiyan Day?
JP do the double celebration.
The same day.
Yeah, it could happen then. Yeah, Sunday.
That would be pretty good.
Man, that would suck for JP. They just get the anniversary, and then they get part 2 of the anniversary, and then they get that.
I mean, last year they got Kid Goku, which was also pretty hype. So
yeah, but that's not a double Dokkan Fest. I'm just saying that's a lot of double Dokkan Fest back to back. Because we've just got the New Year's one, then we're getting the anniversary, and then there's going to be a part 2, which is probably going to be a top legendary summon, and then they're going to get another one after that. I don't know, maybe.
That would be pretty
and then don't forget Golden Week.
Oh god, Golden Week will definitely be a dual Dokkan Fest.
I mean, we could probably get that for
yeah, we could probably get it for Golden Week, maybe. It's gonna happen eventually, so we don't know when.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the Grade 8 Vegeta is a giant hole in the game right now. We already have some pretty good Kaioken Goku, so I think that's not as big of an issue right now. But the Grade 8 Vegeta thing, like that was like one of the biggest fights ever. I consider it the second best fight ever. And they just don't have a good character of him, which is kind of weird. So hopefully soon.
Do you guys think they're gonna move on to what's it called, to the Buu saga right after the anniversary?
Probably. That's my guess. Finish it up, and then after that, probably Super? I can see them go back to the Saiyan saga. Just because they, again, like you guys said, they don't really have anything from there really. That's Dokkan Fest exclusive, I should say. Or I guess they could go Super. I'm not really sure. It's hard to say exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm excited for like the Saiyan saga is because if it's a dual Dokkan Fest, like okay, you get a Kaioken Goku, and then you can get like an actually good Krillin in there, or Kid Gohan, or you can get a good SSR Nappa. You know, like that would be pretty cool.
What is a good SSR Nappa? What is the shenanigans?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
A good Bergamo SSR. We can definitely get a good SSR Nappa.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Next question is thoughts on SSA2 Vegeta and Goku for global, save or spend?
I think for global, by the time they come out, I think you should definitely save for the anniversary units, because they're gonna be coming out on global in what, like March?
No, probably April.
Probably April, March, if I had to take a wild guess. Unless they do global exclusive.
There's not really a way to answer this right now because we're gonna know so much more by the time they come out. Like we're gonna know the anniversary units, which is gonna change everything. And I assume a lot of people are gonna see what's coming, and then they're gonna just be like, nope, not summoning on anything until the anniversary comes out.
Yeah.
Except maybe for throw a multi or two on the cooler banner if you really want the cooler. But I'm not impressed with those banners at all. Just letting you guys know right now. The Super Saiyan 2 Goku and the Vegeta ones, not impressed.
The banners are kind of.
I mean, the only reason you would summon on it is because you like the Super Saiyan 2 lead, like the Vegeta. That category is really good. Like, I see a lot of people like poo-pooing it, and there's no reason to. It's a very good. But the banners themselves are, oh god. If I see another goddamn furry, I'm gonna destroy something.
Yeah, the fact that they put the Super Saiyan 4s on there, that's a pretty big draw, like a pretty big draw for a lot of people, I think. But other than that, it's like you got like so many EZA units on there. It's like, why? Like there's 3 old units on each banner, I believe.
Yeah, like Super Saiyan. Yeah, you had the Super Saiyan 3 tanky Vegeta. You had Transferring Vegeta. You had the Blue Evolution Vegeta. Then you had some other EZA ones. It's just like, ugh.
I think that's the first time we had 8 featured units on JP.
For JP, it was, yes.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, dude, trust me. I goddamn.
Okay, so what's the next question?
All right, is the category meta over? Like, are there too many categories? If we don't get more categories, what kind of meta do we see next?
I don't think it's over just yet.
I don't think the category meta is over.
Is there too many
I don't personally see us
categories?
going back to like 150 type leads or anything like that. I personally don't see that happening.
As far as the too many categories thing, maybe there's so many categories that repeat themselves. But
Yeah, there's so much overlap.
yeah,
Like we're getting like future and time travelers. I mean, they're distinctly different, but there's a lot of
I'll say the same thing I said last week, which was I think instead of continuing to make new categories, they should focus more on ones that need help, like low class warriors, Namekians, otherworld warriors, and like instead of continuing to make new ones every single time a Dokkan Fest comes out, they should just make like those old ones actually like just better. Because right now there really isn't a point to continuing to make those ones. Like Otherworld Warriors just came out, and next Dokkan Fest unit that comes out is going to introduce a new category, and it's going to be like, what's the point? Like this, you can't even use these categories honestly. Ginyu Force could use an upgrade. Like there's so many. World Tournament.
Oh, World Tournament. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to move away, I don't think we see mono teams. I think we'll do. If I would like to see dual types, I think I mentioned this last time, but like AGL and Int 150 or whatever, like I could see that happening, and that would be really cool because then it gives you a lot more variety in team comp.
They could also do something where they break up bigger categories. So like Pure Saiyans, what if they did like Pure Saiyan Tech or like Pure Saiyan AGL, but it was like a massive increase. It was like 200% or like 180%. And it's like within those categories, you can like just break it up even more. Maybe they might do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, the only issue is if they once they get bigger stat buffs, that just means the content, if it doesn't increase in difficulty, is just boring.
Yeah, to be honest, it already is like that.
Yeah, so
I'd agree. All right, next question is JP Dokkan. Is SDR Cooler Dokkan Fest exclusive going to be on the 5th year anniversary banner?
Okay, he came out when? October?
October, yes.
It'll be at least 3 months. Maybe?
I would say no, because
unfortunately
they could just
say
put him
no.
on the one. I would say no, but the only reason I would say no is because they could just put him on another banner that's not hype and make it hype instantly.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I can. So nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as we would love to see him on a banner this soon, unfortunately, I think we're all probably going to say no. All right, final question. Before the 5th year, what is our favorite card as of now? As of right now, before the 5th year anniversary hits, what's our favorite card?
That's tough.
STR Cooler.
STR Cooler.
I don't know.
Golden Cooler.
Golden Cooler. If they didn't have that whole heroes thing attached to him, then I'd be like, yeah, Golden Cooler's definitely getting up there, but
honestly do not have one right now. I honestly do not have one right now. I don't know.
I mean, right behind Golden Cooler for me is the LR Gum.
Oh yeah, I'm actually looking
LR
forward to him a lot. The AHL Super Saiyan Goku.
Oh,
that
yeah,
Strip
yeah.
Power Sword one. But like the reason why I think he's gonna be really good, and I haven't obviously used him yet, but like he makes every single team he's on so much better because the fact that he changes orbs and stuff, he seals, he does a lot of intangible things that people don't really consider when they're talking about like how good a unit is. And he just hits hard too. So I mean, like he's literally doing everything except for like healing. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. But still, yeah, no, he's a very good LR, very good card. So I can see why a lot of people are definitely excited for him.
Yeah, I just don't think people should go in deep because it's a regular LR banner. So unless you got the pockets to afford that kind of thing, then I would avoid it. But if you really, really want him, and I'm just saying he's good, it's just for the average player, I don't recommend going deep on a legend.
Oh, you mean the banner that features AGL Super Saiyan Goku, the first unit ever, Tech Vegeta, the Piccolo? You mean it's not a good banner?
Oh
It's a
man,
good banner. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. You can't pick one, Speedy. Can't find one card
honestly,
you like the
right
most.
as of this moment, right now, I do not have a favorite card. It used to be Goku Black, but as of right now, I do not have a favorite card. Maybe the 50th anniversary is going to change that.
It's in Ribrianne. We already know. Let's move on.
I don't want to say it, dude. You have to expose me. What is this? I'm exposed. No.
Okay, so I think that concludes Dokkan part.
Yes, I do believe so. Yep. And let's. We did get one question that was from a super chat, and it says, 5th year. He's just saying the 5th year idea for Vegeto, base Goku and Vegeta, that fuse into base Vegeto and turn blue after 3 turns, like Intra Brienne. If Vegeto's gonna be on the banner. It wasn't really a question, so.
Any more super chats before we move on?
That was the only one. So.
Alrighty.
All right, so then let's go ahead and shift things on over to Legends. I'm just going to tweet this out real quick that we are changing up to Legends real quick.
All right, guys, for Legends, Nazarachi is going to be taking my place because I honestly do not play Legends, so I do not know much. It was nice, fun during the Dokkan podcast, and I shall see you guys next week.
All right,
later, Speedy.
Take it easy, man.
Peace out, homie.
Good luck.
Did you save your file for Kakarot there?
Yeah, I got a bunch of different save files going, so you know, I'm trying to plan ahead for how I can make videos with it. So I'm being overly strategic.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So why don't we just get straight to it then? So in terms of Legends, we have the new SSJ3 Shallot, which I swear I have seen in every single PvP match I've played over the last few days. Thoughts on it? Where do they go from here with him afterwards as well?
Please don't make him better.
Oh, he's gonna get better. You know he's gonna get better.
I did not expect that. Like, jeez.
I knew that Shallot was popular, but seeing the explosive response from people like on not just YouTube comments, but Twitter, Facebook, everywhere, everybody is in love with him now that he's actually functional, and that's all that they want to talk about. Like, it's completely overshadowed even the Janemba and Gogeta banner in terms of, you know, people's interest. It's all on Shallot.
Yeah,
I think he's. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say something I think they could do with him moving forward is that the fact that this is a time transformation. Basically, besides that, he's terrible. So what they could do moving forward is maybe they could make the other, like the future transformations, not timed, but like also like maybe just as good as this one. I don't really know if making him better than how he already is a good idea, just because he's already so good.
I think, and this is something that I'm noticing that is coming to the game a lot more frequently now. Obviously not all, like some rare characters are exceptionally good, but it seems like a lot of the characters that are coming out now are more like side grades than they are necessarily upgrades. Like the Gogeta, the green one, and the Janemba are a perfect example. Like, yes, Janemba fills a red role. He does great against the movies and Gohan, but you know, he's very niche in his usefulness and, you know, that kind of situation. Whereas you have other characters that are red, like if you want a tank, you'd bring Zamasu, who synergizes with Baby super well to stall the game out. Or if you want to build like a Boo heavy team, you can run Kid Boo. So it's like a lot of the characters that are coming out are just alternative options within their meta, not necessarily mandatory. But you know, then you have characters like, you know, Zenkai 7 Beerus and LF Vegeta that come out that are, you know, they don't fit into that mold. But a lot of banners seem to be offering side grades as opposed to full on upgrades now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for example, the Gogeta that we just talked about, I have been using him a lot recently just because I want to get a feel for how he fits on the Fusions team, because I think that's his main team. I don't really think he's going to fit too well in movies, and he really has not impressed me at all on Fusions. Personally, I feel like he doesn't even fit on the team, like on the optimal version of the team. I think you still just rock the red Vegeta with Super Vegeta, and then you use the blue Gogeta, because I think blue Gogeta is just better.
I kind of have to agree with that. I've got Gogeta myself at 3 stars, which is perfectly fine, honestly. And a lot of the battle, and maybe this is because you don't see a lot of blue units for green Gogeta to maybe kind of really do well. But even taking that out of the equation, going more neutral, every time I brought him, he just, I felt like blue did the better job. The blue Gogeta over the green one. I don't know. Maybe more time is needed, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think it's a very situational character. Like if you see the opponent is running a blue heavy team, which isn't really something you see a lot in the meta right now. But if you saw that, that might, you know, be the opportunity where you'd break him out. Otherwise, you know, like you said, he's not really optimal over the current build unless you're, you know, maybe a player who's missing one of those characters and you have Gogeta, like a newer player, for example. Then he would probably fit in. But for veterans, it really is like you said, it's some things are side grades, some things maybe not optimal. I don't have the Gogeta, so I can't speak too much on him. But swinging that back to Shallot, I think probably a lot of his future transformations that they're going to offer us might be that. Like, you know, there might be side grades that offer different benefits. Like one will be heavily defensive and give him heals, more sustain. The Super Saiyan 3 is, of course, like aggressive strike damage. And I think they'll offer stuff like Super Saiyan God, maybe Super Saiyan 4 as like alternate choices you can pick with different customization routes. I think that's their plan in the long run.
Yeah, I also think that sort of fits in with what you were saying earlier, too, about the different units that are coming out and how they're not necessarily like just power crept versions of what we already have. It just like, for example, the like the fusion scene, like the Gogeta we were just talking about, like he's not bad, just for the record. Like I don't think he's bad at all. He's just for a different play style. Like let's say you don't like playing with red Vegeta. Like some people, I guess, just don't. If you don't enjoy that sort of like tankiness, like that play style that he brings to the team, maybe you just want to have another hard hitter and you can just bring Gogeta. So I think more so than just creating like this is definitely the best team you should bring, or this is definitely the best team you should bring. I think it's more so just opening up more paths for different players to take depending on what sort of play styles they like. And they could do that with Shallot too, by giving his transformations that are in the future going to maybe it is a supporting thing where instead of him hitting hard, he does support or he tanks really well or something instead of just hitting harder.
Yeah, I totally think that's the plan. Like they're going to use the transformations to keep him scaled with whatever's relevant, you know, at the time. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to make him so massively overpowered that I think they want him to be like a diverse option for every free-to-play player to have to be able to deal with stuff that's going on relatively well. At least that's what it seems like they're doing now, since they made Super Saiyan 3 so good.
And then also on top of that, I think they really have to be careful about how they handle Shallot, because Shallot being a Saiyan and then also buffing health, like for Saiyans, like that's one of the best Z abilities in the game, and he has pretty much the best Z or the best tag in the game as a Saiyan. So if they made him too good, he's just literally going to be the most used character, like not even close.
Yeah, like like Steven said, Shallot came out the same day as the Janemba Gogeta banner, and all the people in all the comments on YouTube videos that were featuring like Gogeta or Janemba, that what about Shallot? What about Shallot? What about Shallot? So he's definitely gonna be something that we got to keep our eyes on in terms of how he kind of always stays relevant. I'm sure that they are gonna always try and like it's gonna take time. Like we gotta wait, 2 more months for the next story for him to do the next thing he does. But I feel like they're going to gauge the meta and then adjust him accordingly to kind of fit in at all times.
Yeah, I'm glad he's as good as he is though, because he was useless prior to this update.
Yeah, and it's still like using him comes with a lot of risks. Like I see a ton of players when I've been playing PvP since he dropped that like lead with Shallot in the point position.
Yeah,
and I always like shake my head. I'm like, why are you doing that? Because he can die in like 2 or 3 cards when he's not transformed.
Oh,
so,
he's glass essentially.
So you always want to keep him off to the side, like sub him in mid combo and transform when he's protected. I don't know. So definitely some risks, but I think they're going to compensate that with these transformations.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what they're going to do with that. So, all right. Any more words in on Shallot before going to the next topic?
No, I think he's extremely good. He's very competitive. Teams with him are definitely like widely subjective because there are, like Goresh was saying, there's so many Saiyans in the game that you could build him like on a LF Namek Goku style team, or you could just throw him into pretty much any situation with Saiyans and he'll fit in. So It's going to be probably hard to nail down the most ideal team for him, but just running him with all the most powerful Saiyans you have definitely is not a bad way to go.
He's so good that you could literally just throw him onto the Fusions team too. Like he's buffing everyone. He's not getting buffs in return. But I think like even if he's not getting necessarily buffed by all the Fusion Z abilities, like he's still good enough to be used there.
Yeah, and I think that hopefully in the future too, they'll make like kind of more like a token from Dokkan where there's transformation specific teams. Like it'd be cool to see like the Super Saiyan 3 centric team, and maybe in the future we get like a Hero Super Saiyan 3 or like a Bardock, from Heroes, where he's like, he buffs like the same way the Bardock Super Saiyan does now for his team respectively. I think it'd be cool if they built some metas around that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So then moving on to the next part, which we kind of covered already. This is just simply finishing up the Janemba Gogeta stuff. Is how the summons go for everybody, and just any last final thoughts on the cards and the teams that they go on. Which again, we talked about the cards already, kind of along with the teams. Just how did everyone's summons go? Did everything go well?
Nope. I have Janemba, not Gogeta. I don't know if Goresh probably got them both, but I'm waiting on my tickets to see how that plays out.
I got both, but I'm not going to talk about how it went.
This game is still like they're getting there where the pool of characters is almost to the point where they could do guaranteed sparkings on every summon, but it's also I'm kind of conflicted about that because it's still there's so many bad, and not necessarily bad, but just dated characters in this game that it's going to end up similar to Dokkan, where like you're not going to be getting good characters necessarily. So it's still in a tight, weird spot. Like I kind of like the situations where they offer, tickets for banners with a tighter pool, and you get guaranteed on that, as opposed to necessarily just guaranteed someone's on a pool of all the Ultra Space Time units in the entire game, because I'm just going to be seeing Captain Ginyu all the time and stuff.
Right.
But honestly, I think Janemba's probably the more impactful unit of the two. But just like I mentioned earlier,
100%. Yeah.
He is a kind of a niche side grade for the team that's not necessary. Like more often than not, I still like end up running Baby, Buhan, and Cell. But whenever you throw him in there, he performs. Like, as long as he's not fighting blue units, he will perform well. His green card is phenomenal.
We're at the point where we're seeing like specific meta counters to like they made the Janemba specifically to counter Yellow Gohan, which is good because he's annoying, but like we're seeing that with a lot of other units as well. Like even the red Golden Frieza who transforms was there to just kill Saiyans. Because at that point Saiyans were like really good.
Yep.
So I think like that's not a bad idea to keep doing stuff like that, just to make sure that the meta is in check, and not necessarily like literally just going in like either nerfing units like outright. They're doing it through creating like new like alternatives, I guess.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and it's very situational on the player because like you have to be running like once you pick your team and queue up, you can't change anything really. So you have to already be kind of running that team. So anyone that you match up that maybe counterplaying for that, like you don't know if you're going to run into a counterplay or not, which is kind of neat about this game. Although there probably are a few things about the queue mechanic that I would alter if I could. But.
Well, yeah. So like I was trying to play with Janemba, and I just kept running into fusions, and Vegeto would just smack the crap out of me, my entire team. So like, I think I ran 5 PvP matches with regen, and all 5 were fusions. So
yeah, I've noticed that ever since Janemba came out, like even running onto like Goku family teams or anything that you would think would have that Gohan on there, they don't bring them because they know what Janemba's gonna do to him already.
Yeah, that's actually an issue I've mentioned about this game a few times, which this particular Ultra Space Time banner is actually done a step in the right direction for, and the next Ultra Space Time banner is taking a back step. But at least this banner came out and buffed 2 separate teams at the same time. Like 3 realistically if you include movies. But a lot of the banners, like the next Ultra Space Time banner we're looking at, is just 2 GT units. So as soon as that banner drops, for the next week after that banner drops, you're going to see nothing but GT and PvP with people trying out that new team. And but like I wish they would do more of this where it's buffing multiple teams at once. So when you go into PvP, you don't just see all of the same thing over and over and over again. So that is definitely one thing that I've noticed is kind of an off note for this game. It's kind of obnoxious. Like every time a new banner comes out, that's all you see. But hopefully they keep working to diversify things a little bit. Because, yeah, there is a lot of fusions, but I've also seen a good bit of regen. And like you said, people are trying out movies too, trying to see what works. But not seeing nearly as much God Key this season at all. Like it's all GT or movies or regen.
Yep.
Which is funny. I was just thinking that the queue is kind of interesting. There might be, I think the way they calculate the queue, because when I run God Key teams, just because I want to play for fun, I always run into lower level players with like random teams. That never happens when I run any other team, like running fusions, running movie heroes. I always, there's a different step. It may be because I'm in that 20 to 30 rank bracket, whatever, but I don't know if that's a specific queue mechanic that they're working with or whatever it is.
I actually saw in chat right now, someone, username absent, said a sideboard. That's something that many people might not know about. It's something from like Magic the Gathering. So like when you're going into like a best of 3 with somebody, you bring your deck, but then you also have like extra cards off to the side. And after your first match, you're able to make adjustments to your deck, like versus that same person. And then when you go, because it gives you an opportunity to vary things up. So if you had a side, that could actually be an interesting concept for a game like this. I'm not sure exactly how they would work it in, but it is something like that where you can pick a team, but then have options if like I don't know if they to counterplay. I don't know. It could be interesting, but something. Go ahead.
They could do a feature where they have like quote unquote like subunits. So maybe they have 3 slots that you could just allocate 3 units to it. And then once you queue up and you see what your opponent's team is, you could choose whether or not you want to swap in any of those 3 units to your team, I guess.
Yeah, that would be like a perfect example of how a sideboard would work. And that would be honestly pretty good. Like, do I think they're going to invest the dev time into that? I don't think so, but they do make quality of life adjustments, like major ones periodically, like every 6 to 8 months. So realistically, something like that could be added to the game for quality of life.
That would also make that would improve the usefulness of like units that directly counter other like tags and stuff too. So like even that the purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like he's old, but like he's designed to counter regen. So if you had him in like your their sub unit thing, and you ran into a regen team while you're playing like a Saiyan team, like you could swap him in, I guess, and that would increase the value of that unit a lot.
Yeah, to have like 6 characters like that actually boost and contribute, but have 3 more as like a standby. I think that would be a great idea, honestly. Obviously, if you swap those characters out, you don't get all 9 characters worth of Z abilities. The ones you're not actually break. Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
I mean, from reading the chat, it makes sense. That kind of concept really works if you do like a best of 3 or a best of 5 kind of series. Just 1v1 matches. I think what Goresh was saying with the 3 subunits, that would be an interesting mechanic. But like having an actual full 6, 7 other cards to vary up the gameplay would be very cool for like a best of 3, kind of concept.
Yeah, and I actually think that would be kind of a cool mode for them to add. Like, again, that's something that's more in line with traditional card games where you queue into modes like that, but it's definitely something that they could add to spice the game up. Because this game is so RNG dependent, having a best of 3 would give people, a lot better of idea of if they actually won versus someone because they outplayed them, or because they guessed the opponent's Rising Rush card and just were able to capitalize on that and gain enough momentum where the other player just cannot catch back up.
Yeah, I mean, the game is heavily RNG based. Giving a best of 3 with options to counterplay gives the player a sense of control on the outcome, even though it's like mired in layers of RNG, which I think makes a happier player base. But it has to be a specific mode. Like, what's that? That challenge rush, not challenge rush, but what's that game mode where you just fight everyone 3 times a day or 3 times?
The Legends Battle Royal.
Yeah, like if you replace that with a best of 3 where you queue in, where you play with people, like you can confirm the connection and play with them, I think that would be a better way to handle it in my.
Or just something that like I forget how long their typical PvP season lasts for about 10 to 14 days usually.
Yeah, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's somewhere they could rotate out like different seasons or something. Like something to keep things fresh, like this season is, 1v1s. The next season is best of 3s. The next season is the Legends Battle Royale. That'll be the thing. And then they could rotate between different flavors of PvP, because obviously that's the main focus of this game. And they have the right idea with stuff like Legends Battle Royale, even though that game mode is mired, like you said, to steal your vernacular there, with its own, list of issues. I think that them trying to spice up the flavor of PvP would definitely be a good move for the longevity of the game overall.
I agree.
Alrighty. So then next is going into the V-Jump information with the Shenron and the Baby Vegeta. Is it going to be another UST banner? What do we think is going to happen there?
So yeah, it is confirmed UST, which means it's probably not coming for a while, considering we literally just got this one, unless they want to throw this one out early for some reason. So it's Baby Vegeta and it's Sin Shenron. They're both obviously going to fit on the GT team, but it seems from what was noted in the scan that Baby Vegeta is going to fit more alongside other Saiyans, which I guess could just mean that you want to run him alongside the Super Saiyan 4s, which is interesting because you generally want to run them alongside the Super Baby 2 that just came out. So I don't really know how that's going to work.
He's a Saiyan too, so technically the ideal GT team right now is all Saiyans. I mean, San's Super 17. So yeah. I feel like they're wording that, and he might line up with the GT Vegeta, like how he's a GT unit, but his Z ability is buffs the blast attack and blast defense of Saiyans generically. So I think they might be setting him up to kind of be worded to come out like that, where he is a GT tag, obviously, but he'll do the yellow GT Vegeta thing where he synergizes with just Saiyans in general. Honestly, I think the banner is going to be like we just talked about. I think they're going to be more side grade units, like optional units, but obviously the GT team is in the game right now. It's functioning at extremely high tier. It doesn't really need anything currently to make it, any more optimal than it already is. I mean, maybe just like an endurance unit and a team-wide like activatable heal that could synergize with Baby, stuff like that maybe. But I think it's unless one of the units happens to be just really broken, which isn't usually what happens on Ultra Space Time banners. I think they're just going to be more side grade, more optional units for the team that you don't need at this point, just unless you want them.
Yeah, I could see that happening too.
My thought is Baby Vegeta is gonna be just like the red Final Form Frieza, the transfer, where he'll just do more damage to Saiyans. Like he'll buff Saiyans and then do more damage because he hates Saiyans. You know what I mean? So like it'll be what we have with janemba now. Like, oh, he fits on the movie team, but he kills Yellow Gohan, who's on the movies team.
Yeah, it's also interesting to note, like, at what point in Baby's transformation do the Dimps decide that he gets the regeneration tag? Like, at this point in because there's 3 stages of Baby. There's just Baby Vegeta, and then Super Baby 1, Super Baby 2. And Super Baby 2 is tagged as regen. So I'm thinking that probably Super Baby 1, at least, will also be tagged as regen. But I don't know if this Baby Vegeta, because he's still kind of more so Vegeta than Baby at this point. So I'm not sure if they're going to give him that tag yet or not.
I'm going to say no, but that's my guess.
Yeah, so
I think he'll be, I don't think he'll fit onto that side of things, more relegated as GT optional and Saiyans optional. I think the Shenron's probably going to be the more important unit of the two. Just based off the pie charts, when you compare the stats, it seems like he's specifically being designed to fulfill like a defensive or brawler type role, which, if he could use that, because kind of Goku is okay in terms of defenses. Vegeta is a straight up glass cannon, and Baby is good after you've used his main, but he's still like high risk of just dying to Rising Rush from almost any character in the game that isn't red. So the thing, I feel go ahead.
I was just going to say, the thing with the GT tag and the fact that Baby is there, he's pretty much always going to be a guaranteed pick for the tag because he's so good. So I think anytime you introduce a like hyper defensive character for that tag, they have to be really careful about that, because the fact that Baby does as much healing as he does, it makes it so that like super defensive characters are just almost unkillable. And you can see that when you run regen. Like if you run a regen team, and this is why I'm really scared about what's going to happen with this Majin Buu Zenkai Awakening. Like if you run like Zamasu, and then you also run something like the green Piccolo, or even just like someone like the yellow Cell, because of the amount he heals. Same thing with Nail too. It gets like way out of hand because just the amount of healing that's going on. So if you have someone like Sin Shenron come in and he has any sort of like healing or cover cut, like it's going to get really out of hand.
Yeah, it'll be like kind of more in line with, like you said, the regen team, where GT is going to start being that tanky team that can last long periods of time in the battle. Because right now they're mostly a burst damage team, and then you swap a lot to heal, like ideally. But you want to win fights as quick as you can with that team, because when their buffs start wearing off, and when they don't live for too long. Once Baby's passive lasts 30 seconds, and then or 60, I forget, it's one of the two, but. If you pop that early, there's definitely plenty of fights where it'll run out. But then also, like you said, on regeneration, there's a lot of fights where you're finishing the fight with all 3 of your characters near full health just because he's there.
Yeah.
Quick question related to that. They don't show the extreme units on the V-Jump that's related to the US.
Yeah, they never do.
So, but it's a UST, so we're going to get extreme units.
Yeah, most likely. And then they'll do that thing they're doing right now where you can only pick them when you log in if you've already pulled them.
Yeah, the single greatest feature of Legends.
Like hold it right in front of your face and be like, oh, I bet you wish you had this so you could get some more for free.
All right. Well, I guess the question I was going to have is, what do you think the extreme units are going to be?
Okay, so we have Gogeta and Janemba came with Android 14 and 15. We had the USD banner prior to this was the Bardock and Tapion. I guess that was kind of relevant because they came with the Kid Trunks, and then Super Buu was kind of out of nowhere. Then before that, we had the Frieza banner that brought what? Shisami and something else.
The other Frieza.
Yeah, okay, so that was related. And then the one before that was Gohan and Bojack, and that brought what? Broly and what was the other one? Broly and who else?
Another movies unit, wasn't it?
Broly and 13.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a correlation, I don't think, but I guess for some of them there are. So I guess something. I mean, what I would want to see is I would want to see like Nova and Ice Shenron maybe as EX units there.
Oceanus.
Yeah, or maybe Oceanus too. Maybe we can get that mole guy, give him some love too. I don't know.
I would generally agree with what he said. Like, it's going to be a couple different ways. They're either going to revisit sparking units that we already have and turn them into EX units. And it could literally be like any of them because they don't necessarily always have rhyme or reason to that, like the androids we have right now on this banner. Or it'll probably be EX versions of GT units or Saiyan units. Like, usually it kind of cycles through that. Like, it's going to be something directly related to the banner, but like EX units, or it'll be, older sparkings that are now turned into EX units. So I can't predict which ones, but I would say it's either going to be GT EXs or like, let's see. What's another tag?
Please just no EX androids because we've gotten so many of those. Please just no.
Yeah, I bet they'll probably skip androids. I could see like maybe more. Oh, they did Frieza Force recently too with Shisami and the Frieza, and they've done regen androids.
Maybe future.
EX future characters, EX fusion characters, EX GT characters, maybe more EX movies characters. I would pull from maybe one of those four as the most likely.
That's a good
EX
point.
fusion characters would be interesting because we literally have like none of those.
Yeah, we have none.
The thing with movies though is that they buff movies every single UST banner like for the past like 5 banners, and this one upcoming doesn't have a movie sparking in it. So I think that getting a new EX for movies is a pretty good guess.
I would like, if I could pick one that I would like to see, I would like to see an EX Boo Gotenks Absorbed, and he could fit on the Fusions team too.
Oh,
I'm surprised they skipped that. I thought he was going to be like a Legends or not Legends Rising, Legends Road character or like a Rising Battle character.
That would make sense also.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they've been going kind of random when it comes to who comes out at what time and not really following.
Oh, yeah, and the Legends Road stuff is completely nonsensical. There's no way to telegraph that. It could literally be like anything.
Is. Absolutely never. All right. So I think with that then, though, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, we could start going to the questions that people have been asking and posting about.
Yeah, I mean, Legends is in kind of a quiet period right now. I think they're still riding out Q1. Now, just one thing to swing back to with the V-Jump scan, I actually went back and did some time comparison. It is roughly on track. I mean, I know, Goresh, you can translate the Japanese that says Ultra Space Time, but even that aside, like, it is roughly on track because those magazines normally come out. Normally, they come out and we have 10 to 14 days before the banner comes out. So it came out at like the beginning of the week, and it roughly lines up for that banner to be the UST that kicks off like in the first week of next month. So, I mean, it roughly lines up. So I would definitely, stick with, well, even before Goresh could translate it, that's what I was kind of predicting.
Yeah, also the fact that, we can talk about this too, actually. The fact that, personally, I think they're probably done with Legends Rising banners. Like, is there a reason for them to ever release another one? Like, do they serve any purpose?
I really don't think there is, actually.
Unless they want to just throw out a banner with 2 highlight characters that don't really mesh with whatever they've currently been doing. Yeah, I don't really think that's a format that they would necessarily revisit.
Because there's no discounts. I mean, there's a daily discount. There's no like steps. There's no tickets. There's literally nothing. It's just a straight up. It's just a normal banner. You summon 1,000 crystals full price every time. There's nothing special you get from it, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think the last one they did was the Hit banner.
Hit and Kaioken. Yeah, Hit and Kaioken Goku. Before that, it was usually the movies units that were relegated to the Legends Rising banners. Then they kind of just started going wherever with it. Yeah, I think if we do see it again, I think they'll probably reformat the structure of it so that it's, I don't know, updated. Because Yeah,
the way
like
I'm seeing it is that like they started throwing all these super hype characters onto UST banners, which is good because it's much easier to get them from that banner instead of a Legends Rising banner. And then once they want to do like LF units or something that's like super hype, they can just go to a step up. And then I think those are the two formats they want to stick to because it's just the most practical in terms of like where you want to spend your crystals.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think it's possible we might see another one, but it would be like a weird situation. Like we would have to like just be coming off of a step up and like a month where they want to make a lot of money. Like I don't know what quarter is the most ideal for them. But it would have to be like some weird situation where they just came right off a step up and they're like, well, we can't do another one of those already, but we want to sell these two characters now. Let's bring back Legends Rising. It would have to be something like that. Otherwise, like you said, I don't think it's really a format that they have a need for right now.
Yeah, I just don't see the reasoning behind ever bringing another one back.
The only reason I could ever see it, which unfortunately I don't think would happen, is that they would have to start bringing back the something that could be unique compared to the USC banner. So like before, the USC banners obviously had those tickets, and then the Legends Rising banners had the 999 on them. And then 999 went over to the UST banners, but then 999 was stopped and switched out for the 30 at the end of each multi, which I still weep for the 999 banners going away. So they'd have to introduce something completely different and new and unique to those banners. Otherwise, yes, I do agree that those banners are probably dead.
Yeah, and honestly, that's very likely the truth that they are dead. We've seen a lot of like this game is constantly evolving, and they are always throwing stuff at us to test it out to see if it sells well, and then that stuff dies and goes away. Like, and some stuff we only see once. Like I remember in like the beginning of the game, they came out with the Frieza banner. What the first one was called, like the Advent Rising of the Frieza Empire or something. Like, and that was something we only saw one of, and they never revisited that name ever again.
Well, no, because that was like a specific banner for him, and they did the same thing with Super Vegeta and Super Trunks. It was like limit breaking Saiyans or something, and then we also have like
test something out and do a one-off or something like that.
There's also like the Legends Saiyans banner, and then there's the Legends Hybrids, like all those Legends banners, and then obviously we do have the like the Legends Girls ones too. So.
Yeah, those are ones I think that if they're smart, because like units like Kefla will sell, but they have to market the banner right. It can't be just like, oh, it's Kefla and another Android 18 and Bunny Bulma again, and like no, they gotta like Kefla and like Goku Ultra Instinct sign, and then that banner would just kill. Like people would love that banner.
I still can't believe they split up that banner into two different ones.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea. Like already you have low crystals, and you look at both those banners and you're like, well, I can't run this team if I don't summon on both. How about I just skip the whole thing and just say screw that team and never run it?
Yeah.
And that's probably what most people did. Like the only reason I even got what Rosie was off a lucky daily single. Like that's it. And I don't even have Kakunsa. And she's a ghost. She'll never come back.
I don't have her either. Yeah, she's never been back ever.
Not even as like an auxiliary like unit buried far down in the list of units to be on a like never. Like it's so weird.
All right, so why don't we go ahead onto the first question then? Because again, this always sparks more conversations and everything. Question 1 is, any more step-ups until the second anniversary, which I believe is July.
You better believe it.
More step-ups.
Oh yeah, this game wants money. They're hungry for it. They need it because of the player base is probably not as high spending a player base as Dokkan, which is obvious from all the marketing data. So yeah, I definitely think there's going to be hype stuff coming before the anniversary.
I mean, step-ups is where they make their money from, especially with LF units, because people just chase the LF unit. So I would say at least 2, probably before the anniversary. I mean, we have 5 months before the anniversary comes. I could see them releasing 2 step-ups before then.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that number for sure, easily. And then other banners sprinkled in there too that might be maybe I don't know what holidays are like celebrated in Japan between now and the anniversary happens, but
Golden
I'm
Week.
Sure
Golden Week.
but that's like right before the anniversary. I believe that was when we got the family Kamehameha step up. So that's a big one to look out for. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, we already had New Year's, which was the other big thing, and then Tanabata is another one. But
what about? I'm sure there'll be some activity for Valentine's Day again. They always like to do that.
Yeah, that's when I think we could see a Kefla come out or some kind of girls banner.
Yeah, is that in February or March? I forget. I don't know.
Valentine's is February 14th.
Okay, yeah. I know they like some hearts and mushy stuff in Japan because we always get something for that. And then April Fool's Day, they'll probably do something trolly again, like Everyday Nappa. Is that before the anniversary or after though? That's before. So yeah.
The anniversary is what, June?
Yeah, it's like midsummer.
It's like very early June.
So hopefully we'll get like another Everyday Nappa style trolley fun event for that too. I don't think that would severely impact the meta of the game or anything, but it's just fun little stuff.
They get Zenkai Awaken Yellow Gohan for the April Fools.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
And you had 2 days to buy all the Zenkai 7 for.
Or they just give them to everyone for free, and you think it's legit, and they take them away the next day.
Yeah, that would be really.
I think they'd get a lot of hate for that, but it would be hilarious all the same.
Okay, the next question is just a hypothetical. If they made an LF androids, like 17 and 18, what do you?
I know that this game goes back and forth, like borrowing elements from Dokkan. I'm not sure if they would take it exactly that far or not, though. Like to have both units comboed on the same card and have them be the LF LR set up. I definitely think the androids deserve one, but I think they're very, very far down the road. Like we're still in the phase of getting like LF heroes, like good guys. When I say heroes, not hero units. And they're going to start, I think, with stuff that they think is going to sell better. Like stuff like the Fusion Zamasu maybe would be a good first one for them. Or, ones that are going to make more money. I don't think that androids necessarily make them the most money. But I won't say no if they make one, I'm not going to complain.
When they do when they do a villain LF, it's going to be a movies unit. They're like obsessed.
Yeah, it wouldn't honestly surprise me if it was like DBS Broly and it comes out on the anniversary of the movie or something. But that already passed, didn't we? We passed the first year anniversary of that. So
yeah, back in December, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, December for Japan and January we passed
Isn't Broly the most? Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but isn't he the most popular like bad guy? Or I guess he's not really a bad guy anymore with the new canon, but
he's the most popular movie villain for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I could see them doing those kind of duel is if you used a green card to switch from 17 to 18, and let's say 17 is more strike based, and you want to switch into 18, and that's more blast based. Like kind of gimmicky like that would be interesting. But I don't think androids are going to be the first villain card that's going to get a catastrophic finish or whatever they're going to call it, the equivalent for LF for villains. I don't think they're going to be the first ones. If they decide to do it, it's going to be probably way down the line.
Yeah, they have way more money making things that they'll have their eyes set on. I would personally stake a wager that they would not see the androids for a while getting a LF. Unless it was like plot twist and it's Android 16 because he's actually a good guy, or I don't know. That would be weird though. I don't think they would do that.
They could do that. They could do that.
That would make Reddit real happy. They'd be making fun of me for a long time.
And we all know Reddit, those memes would never go away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, never go away. All right, I guess the next question, I guess it's kind of like an overall question, is what are your thoughts on the current state of the game?
It's okay. It's not great, I would say. I mean, it hasn't really changed since like whenever we talked about this last time. too much, obviously money whatever the term is, like money grubbing or whatever. I don't know. It just feels like they're just trying way too hard to like rake in the money, I guess.
Yeah, I generally agree with that. Like, I think the game is fine in its state of consistency. There's a lot of stuff they could do to innovate more. I think it'll probably won't happen right now because I think like this is quarter 1 and things are just kind of slow in general. So I don't know if they're going to pump out anything amazing yet. But it definitely needs to keep on innovating and to keep doing interesting things to mix stuff up. Definitely agree with the money grubbing, and there's 2 ways that they could go, because obviously they need to make money to meet their goals to keep the game open so it doesn't go the route of Buchigiri match. So there's 2 ways they could aggressively market the game, which is what they're doing right now. Or I feel like what might even be better, because if they read their audience, they know that the game's got a younger audience. I feel like being more generous might actually make them more money. Like give away more for free to tease people into actually spending more instead of like holding things in front of their nose and baiting them to try and spend more. I think with the younger crowd overall, that would probably be a more effective marketing strategy. Like we talked about last week, I think, how they could just give everyone in the game every new unit that comes out at 0 stars, like 100 Z power, and that's what you get. And maybe they, make it harder to get Z power a little bit because now you just get the unit for free, but you can summon for it. Or there'd be more events like, the rising battles and stuff like that, where we could get, just access to more love for the free to play community, which might pull in more money. Because it's easy to notice that in the Play Store, the game generally has like more negative reviews than positive. And while it's funny to like laugh at those people because they're generally like, the comments will be like, I spent 3,000 crystal, got nothing, like screw this game. And like, yeah, it's funny to laugh at those people because like we're over here like, oh, we spent 20,000 and I got nothing. Like you don't even know what you're talking about over there. But like at the end of the day, they need to make those people happy because like the more of those people that are happy, the more people that are playing the game, the more money that'll be funneling in. So I definitely think that they have a lot of balancing issues that they need to worry about moving forward to improve the state of the game and not just stay consistent.
Yeah, I think something else to talk about too is just that sort of like covers the management aspect of the game, but I think in terms of like the actual gameplay itself, like I think the meta right now is actually pretty good. There's a lot of diversity in what teams you're seeing. I think there's like 3 or 4 main ones that you see, and that's pretty good. I think 3 or 4 teams is a good core of like main teams to be seeing. It's not like 1 or 2 that you see every single time. Like sure, I think probably movies and GT are the 2 most popular right now. But you see regen, you see just general Saiyans now that we have Shallot being better. Sometimes you see lineage. Sometimes you see I don't know, other teams as well. But I think in terms of like the actual meta environment, it's in a pretty good spot, and I think they did a good job with that so far.
From my perspective, in terms of the management side, I agree with you. They can be more generous to entice the free-to-play players a little bit more. Maybe they're one duper way or whatever that might just string people in to spend. But I think the more important thing is they just need to get rid of hard paywalls. Like I played a lot of gacha games. Some of them are just quick money grubbing real fast. And like the road that Legends is going is kind of how that is with those like quick free-to-play cash grabs, right? So that's where I'm a little wary in terms of the management side. What they could do is just get rid of the hard paywall. So like the best example, I think there was like a discussion with me and Gresh on Twitter that like the New Year's banner, I mean, not banner, the bags, right? The happy bags or whatever they're called. Like you could only buy those with cash. That's the problem. That should have been opened up as CC in general. Yeah, maybe lower the rates a little bit, whatever it is. But the problem is if you're a free to play player, you're never going to spend money or very minimal spending on the cash shop itself. Whatever you want, you want to purchase with the premium currency that you can farm, logins, all that kind of stuff. So if you gave them the option to buy a happy bag with CC, maybe just once or whatever it is, like how I don't know how they want to limit it or whatever, but the fact that if you give the players the illusion that they have the opportunity to grab it, then there will be way more people willing to potentially open up the wallets, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think they should have at least given the opportunity to, like, maybe not replacing the bags, but like put out a crystal banner that you can pull on that's just there alongside the happy bag banner, and that would just, I think, be a lot better.
Yeah, I think that would have been fine if they just put, like, that was a good solution. It's just the fact that free to play players, and I know they make up a good chunk of the player base, but they aren't the focus of the revenue and all that stuff, right? So if you placate them, they'll stick around more. And the most mobile games, it's inverted. The top 2% of the players are the ones that's funding 90% of the revenue, right? And the only way to make them feel better that way is if the whales always feel like they have an advantage because they spend quite a bit. But then the free to play players, if they never had the opportunity to be on the similar playing field, they're just going to leave. And then if you have no more free to play players, the whales are the ones that want to beat up on them and stay on top. If there's no one to beat up on, they leave too. So that's usually what happens with a lot of these gacha games that you see die out, is that the free to play players are the most disillusioned ones and they leave. And then the whales, who usually need to spend to get that advantage, they, especially in a PvP competitive environment, if they have no one else to beat up on, they leave too, and then the game is dead.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, just we can even just talk about rising battles and stuff like that too, because I feel like, when was the last time we got a new one of those? I feel like it's been a long time. Was Ginyu the last one?
Yeah, that red Ginyu. Yeah.
How many months ago was that?
Quite a while ago.
At least 4. At least.
I think they should do one every month at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. Keep stuff like that updated constantly. That and Legends Road. Like, whenever there's not a new Legends Road, have a new Rising Battle. And if it makes it easier on them, cut it down to 50 stages, not 100. Make easier programming, less menu work to UI. I mean, it can't be that hard anyway. I mean, designing the unit is what's difficult. Remaking that event and just reskinning everything for the unit is probably the easier part of the programming step. So it's like, have one of those and a new Legends Road unit, like rotating two new units a month for free to play players, one of each type or something like that.
Yeah, as long as they have their teams they bring in are viable, like Super Saiyan 3 Shallot, everyone's gushing over him because everyone has him. Like, as long as you finish a story, you can use. So it doesn't matter if you spend thousands of dollars on a banner or whatever, you can still use Super Saiyan 3 Shallot, and he's viable. Yeah, like you guys said, his downside is until he transforms, he's a wet paper bag, and then when he transforms, which is only lasts 30-40 seconds, he's really strong. The fact that most players can actually use him is what is enticing, and you can see the love that he gets, right? So if you had that similar, it doesn't have to be as strong, but if you had similar viable units every month that is farmable, then by all means, you'll keep your player base, especially the free-to-play people, much happier.
Yeah, and honestly, it was a really good structure. I think it was the best thing ever in that vein when they did the Vegeto. Like, you have the banner with the premium version of the unit, and then you have the free base version of the unit that's farmable. So even if those people didn't pull the Super Vegeto, they'd still be a little bit salty. But the fact that they got, a really good other, basically same version of the units, the same character, was, a decent enough consolation prize where I'm sure a lot less people got so mad that they quit the game over that, as opposed to, the unit comes out, there's nothing free, you don't get it, you're screwed, you can't run the new meta. And then those people are like, well, I can't run any of the new teams, I quit. So yeah, definitely a good plan for them to keep their monetization pretty much similar to the way it is now, but also to provide for the players that they don't want to leave, who aren't going to be spending money.
Alrighty. So then the next question that comes in, because actually we kind of actually went over one of the questions, which was a possible LF farmable card, which we talked about the free sparkings that we haven't had in quite a while. So I think we basically kind of covered that thing. But one question I'm seeing in the chat a lot, and then also that we have on here as well, is when do you think we're going to get some kind of Heroes collab or Fighters collab, or do you think they'll even do something like that?
I do think they definitely will, but I have no idea on a possible time frame. Out of all the games, I think Heroes will be the first one that gets a collab because it's literally in-house for them. It's going from one department down the hallway to the other department and be like, hey, we're going to borrow your characters. And they're like, all right, cool. And there's no licensing or no royalties, like no inter-company communication that has to happen for that to occur. So that'll definitely be the first one. I just don't know when.
I agree.
I don't know if they'll do any of their collabs besides that. I mean, is there a reason for them to? Like, what are they going to do for a Fighters collab? Are they going to bring Android 21 into the game?
Yeah,
I think that's what everyone would probably say. It's just like, oh, well, it's a reason to bring Android 21 in. You do.
That's the only unique character from that game, though. So it would have to be. I don't know. It's something that I could see as like a celebratory thing, maybe. But I don't know how much Dimps and Arc System works. Like, I don't know how much they communicate with each other, really. Or how much one wants to pay the other for the rights to use their character out of that studio and whatnot. I don't even know how that works since it's all under the Dragon Ball umbrella. I'm assuming that they have to pay someone or get some type of permission to do that. Like,
yeah, so I think Dims would have to license it out of Arc System. And the only thing, like, the only issue with a Fighters collab is if there was a Fighters 2, I could see that happening. Like, that would be a reason to have a collab. But, like, just straight out of nowhere with no, like, maybe, like, big patches with Fighters, there's got to be a timing thing in order for that to happen. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, like a tournament, like, something like the World Championship Fighters tournament or whatever that happens every year, or Evo. But that's kind of more of a Western thing. I don't know how. I mean, Japanese people, of course, go to Evo, like Goichi and his rivalry with Sonic Fox and stuff like that. But I just don't know how much I know, like, there was a huge thing recently with Shueisha where they're really like old timey and they don't really understand. And they were like getting on ArcSys Works and they're like, you have to pay us like $50,000 every time you want to host a tournament. Basically, they were trying to get extra licensing from Bandai and ArcSys to even host the tournaments. And the entire Fighters tournament scene was shut down for like 2 or 3 months. Like, all the tournaments were shut down. Nothing could happen. Shueisha was like, if you don't pay us, you can't have these sanctioned tournaments. So, like, that was all at risk for a while until they finally, Bandai, like, pulled them aside and were like, hey, look, this is how the world works nowadays. If you want this game to succeed, there needs to be a community for it. And for a community, we need these tournaments. And they finally caved and gave up and things went back to normal. But yeah, it's licensing that it gets really crazy for sure. So
gotta love them old Japanese people.
Yeah, and I think the Heroes, if I had to guess, like, for Heroes, I think it's going to be more so of like when those units would appropriately fit into the game. Like, we're not just going to next month see like Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, Heroes collab. I think it'll wait until we've run through all the normal units that they could possibly run through, and they start to, start revisiting older units more and more often because they're running out of content. And then we'll start to see the Heroes stuff come in. I think that would be the appropriate time for them to introduce that. And then other collabs, like, like he was saying, it's going to be based on big events, like new releases. But they skipped Kakarot, so, they might just not care.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, what are they going to, like, for me, the only reason why I think Heroes is such a big draw for a lot of people is because there's so many unique characters for Heroes. But it's like Kakarot, like what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna make a new Goku? Like, I don't know.
Well, isn't there that new female, like,
Banyu or something?
Yeah, like I think the very least they could have done was just like a login. Here's a free character to play with. You know what I mean? Like, just to commemorate and celebrate. But like, again, outside of that's the only new unique unit, right? So there won't be a banner based off that.
They could have just given like maybe they give Shallot like some new like accessory or something. That I could have seen that.
Yeah, or like an in-game event, like Ginyu Force, and Banyu's of someone you fight once, and then she's gone and the event's over. Like something like that would be kind of something I would see, but not necessarily a banner like they were saying. But then that's just more effort and more money they spend to not really make any financial return on it. So there's no motivation for them to program all that stuff. So probably why we didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird because Akatsuki does Akatsuki did that one. Dokkan did that one collab, right? What
with Treasure Cruise, yeah, One Piece.
Yeah, the One Piece thing. But I think they learned like the Dokkan or the Dragon Ball IP is so strong enough that need to license One Piece and stuff like. It was a good thing for One Piece though, because they did that crossover where, oh, if you played One Piece, you got something in Dokkan, I think, or like you help us out or retweet or some stuff like that. So there was a whole trove of people coming from Dokkan to One Piece to help them out. There wasn't necessarily that many people coming the other way around. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't seem like Dragon Ball is such a big IP and such a strong IP that there doesn't need to be collabs for financial gain. At least that's how I'm analyzing it.
Yeah, Legends has had a collab once. The closest thing you could call to a collab was just their tie-in with the DBS Broly movie, and that was like the biggest thing to happen to Dragon Ball since Super itself. So if there was like a collaborative event, I think it would have to coincide with something so absurdly big that it'd be like, the Super Anime restarting or the next movie that's coming out.
Well, I mean, the only other thing I can think of is the Olympics, right? Because Goku is an official avatar for the Olympics in Japan. So I could see something happening in July, Talon, right? That's when the Olympics is going on.
End of July. Yep, end of July. All August.
I could see that too. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, like at least something coming on. Like maybe Shallot gets I don't know, an Olympic
tracksuit.
Yeah, like I could see that.
And a gold medal accessory.
Please give us a swimsuit character.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if they actually if Japan wins any Olympics, we get a gold medal Shallot or something. I don't know.
Oh God,
that could be cute, like in a funny, just type trolly way.
Yeah, I mean, and to link it back to Dokkan, I'm sure they're going to have some tie-in into the Olympics. Big deal, So
yeah, it'll be like an in-game event. I don't see them finding a way to make a profitable summon banner out of that. It would have to just be like special in-game events going on. I think. I don't know, but
I can see them going like every medal that's won, you get extra CC or extra Dragon Stones or something like that. So,
the adventures for that month are totally going to be farming gold, like Olympic medals and stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't think they would do that. I'm talking about the if you get medals, you be whatever. I think it would just be more so like the adventure stuff, or maybe like some accessories that they give out or stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be anything like, if Japan wins, like you guys get more stuff. Like, no, I don't think so.
That would be hilarious, but yeah, I don't think they would pay that much attention to it.
No, I know. I'm just throwing it out there just for fun. But hey, like I said, anything could happen, right? So shit, maybe they get the highest gold medal count or silver medal count, and something happens.
And they reward the rest of the world. Hey, you guys suck. We won. Here, take these rewards. Consolation prize.
All right. Well, speaking of adventures, how do you guys think this set of adventures has gone so far?
Oh, I still hate it.
It's so annoying.
I understand that they want to compel people to like stay on the game all day, every day, but it's just like the worst, man. It's the worst. Like I have never liked that system. I was so happy when they reintroduced the Zenny, the EXP, and all the Soul Color Orb stages, because I was like, I don't have to farm adventures anymore to get the materials I need. Now I never have to do them again. And now it's just like, oh, they're the ghost that never goes away. It's like a poltergeist.
I think it's just mainly because the adventure system is just bad. Like it literally the only purpose of it is just get you on the game. That's the only purpose.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could rework it somehow, or maybe just I don't know, because like I think the least they could do is just increase the amount of spaces of adventures that you can do. Like I know there's 3, and then you get 2 with like the slot things or whatever that you can get.
That would be better, but it was to be just clicking through so many more extra menus too.
Yeah, there should just be one button that does like auto for all of them, just like at once, and that's it.
Yeah, that would be great. Or just give me like a 12-hour adventure. I know they'll never do that because that negates the whole purpose of you periodically logging into the game, but either reduce the because they have some pretty absurd expectations of the player base sometimes. Like locking the last GSP ticket at like 500,000 plus or whatever of the material you need. Like that's just insane. If I'm getting like 2,000 per day, 2 to 10,000, 15,000 per day, because that's what the missions were prior. They had like the daily missions, which were to get 15,000, and every day they'd have that reset. And there's only like X amount of days. It's too much demand. Like I wish they would just optimize the system a little bit more, like they were saying.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, because I mean, you basically have to be doing the hour logins for like most of your free time, and then when you sleep or are at work or school or whatever, then you do the 3-hour ones. But you have to constantly be up on that. If you're not, and you lose like a few hours, that could be the difference between that last ticket.
Yeah, at some point, I just had to tell myself that looking at those, I just don't look at that stuff anymore, really, because I know it's just an unrealistic demand of my time, and I'm not going to get it all. Like every time they have the new one, and it's the first day, I look at it and I'm like, let's see, I'm not getting all this stuff. 700,000 of these cakes or whatever. No, that's not happening. And then I just dismiss it right from the get-go, which then in turn, like I'm less motivated to check it every day. So yeah, that system is definitely kind of counterproductive to itself.
So the adventure system is very common in a lot of hero collector gacha games. Like that's the way to get you to log in. The thing about Legends though, they're the ones that cap you at 3 hours. Like a lot of other adventures systems and other games, it's like 6 hours, 8 hours, at 3 hours. Like it ranges in time because they want you to get in, periodically check in and get the rewards and stuff. But with Legends, it's just like every hour, which is every 3 hours or whatever. It's really egregious. So I agree with Gresh. They should at least make 7 slots. It's not much better, but at least it helps a little bit. 2, let me delete some adventures I don't care about. Like I don't know, if you hit the full 99 and you get more adventures, do they just not show up?
Yeah,
they start.
It literally goes off of the menu.
It's really weird how the system works. Like I've checked it, and if you get to 100 adventures and you're doing like event ones, like if you're farming these ones for these New Year's cakes or whatever, all the new ones you get will replace older ones. It'll basically refresh the time limits on them with newer ones. But if you have like the lower quality, like the shittier adventures, like the Z1s and the other ones, those ones they just won't go into the list at all. But the high value ones will start like replacing the other high value ones that have lower time limits left on them. It's really weird how it works. So you can't get rid of them. Like you said, there's no way to clear space to like plan what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So what I do is I do 5 energy on the event that gives me the event adventures. And then if I'm about to do like a long PvP grinding session, I just do that afterwards because I know that if I like spend a bunch of stamina getting adventures that are for the event, they're all going to get deleted once I do PvP because they're going to get pushed out of my menu, which is really stupid. It should not work like that.
Yeah,
it's a really wonky system.
Yeah, the timers are okay. So this is gonna sound really weird. I know the timers sound too short because we have to keep logging in too much. But if you're gonna try to keep me in, make the timers reasonable. Like when it was half adventures on the Zenkai Souls, that was bearable. But now that's in an hour, Jesus, I let so many Zenkai adventures just like get deleted because like you guys said, everything gets filled up because I got to do some PvP, or I want to do some adventures for the event, or I got to do some co-op, and like it's just so difficult to manage all of that. You know what I mean?
Not to mention
Yeah.
Zenkai gives you like so little when it comes
Yeah,
to
I
doing
was gonna
those
say, like,
adventures. Oh
that's a
my
whole
God.
different issue.
That's just
It's
oh
so
my God.
Yeah, like I said, I've always said this. Like, if you want to make me care about these event Avengers, let me buy Zenkai Souls with these goddamn event current because yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I like doing co-op and stuff, but the fact that it rarely drops and it drops a random type. Like, if I need to farm like the Zenkai 6 and 7, it's just RNG upon RNG if I get a drop and it's the type I need, and then the adventure goes and I get what I want. And then if I get a crit or like I get extra currency out of it, great. But usually it's like 12. Here you go. Here's 12. That's not even enough to fill one panel.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like literally because I'm on the last page of Beerus's
Yeah,
soul,
same
and
here.
that's one I have left, and I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna spend my coins on the ones I need.
Yeah, the co-op coins. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like that was their poorly implemented way of trying to time gate the Zenkai units so that people couldn't instantly rush them to max level and just start dominating with them. But it still doesn't really make sense to me. Like, what does it matter if someone has this unit like now or 2 weeks from now? They're still gonna have like a wickedly overpowered unit, and it's gonna impact the game the same way then as it would now. So yeah, I don't know. That's like some really weird time restriction they were trying to implement that rewards the most like hardcore of the no life players of the game and just basically punishes everybody else.
Yeah, time gating the Zenkai Souls absolutely makes no sense when they drop a banner that lets you go all the way to Zenkai 7 if you want to spend on it.
But yeah,
you know what I mean?
You have the physical cosmetic appearance of having that unit at that level, but none of the actual power behind it.
Yeah, so them time gating Zenkai that way via limiting the souls is retarded. That's just all I.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That is very small brained move. I think the whole Zenkai system, the way it is just like what the hell. But it's what they're going with, so that's what we got to cope with, I guess. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I let me buy Zenkai Soul Adventures with the event currency. Like at the very least, let me do that. I gotta waste a slot to do Zenkai Souls when I need to use all the slots to farm the event currency. But here I am. Come on.
Yeah, just trying to prioritize your life because that's another huge conflict. Like you can only get the Zenkai souls you need from adventures, but every single day, as soon as one of these adventure things ends, another one begins immediately. So you'll never, like logistically, you'll never have the time to devote to those extra adventures. Like if you're going for the event stuff, you're just gonna have to make sacrifices one way or another, and that's not really a good way to entice your player base to have better morale overall, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not. Yep, I 100% agree with that.
And personally, I think the whole Zenkai mechanic period should have been something they pursued in more of like a Dokkan EZA type of way. Like have that be the mechanic that draws the players into no life the game and be on it all day. Like grinding stuff out, playing the game, spending time on the game, and find some other way to monetize the game that would make just as much money but won't just unbalance the game so devastatingly badly.
I agree. Yeah. All right. So other than that, we've gone through the majority of the questions. A lot of repeat ones, obviously. Any last little words you want to say before we end the stream?
Anyone want to get some words in on Kakarot? I know there was a lot of people interested.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people asking about that. I'm gonna be starting it today.
I'm streaming right after this, so if you guys want to watch
right,
versus
go
Frieza,
go watch Goresh. He's gonna be gushing over Frieza versus Goku. You're gonna be repeating every single line.
I honestly have. I can't really think of anything negative to say about the game. I am fully like, and I'm not just shilling for the game. Like I've played pretty much every single Dragon Ball game that has ever been released in some form or another, via like ROM hacks to play the old Super Nintendo games, all the way up to PlayStation 2, etc. So this game is trying to do something different. Not everyone's going to appreciate it, but I have nothing bad to say about it. It's literally like playing Final Fantasy 15 in a Dragon Ball Z format, and I love it to death. Like, again, that's not going to appeal to everybody, but for me, it's like a gold mine. That game is an instant purchase.
I think it's a love letter to Dragon Ball fans, right? If you like Dragon Ball and you want to revisit the glory days, or however you want to word it, and you just want to kind of go along for the ride, then it's a very, very good game from what I've seen. It's not going to be obviously some in-depth huge fighter like, well, fighters or anything, but again, it wasn't trying to be that in the first place. So if you
you gotta approach it much more like Final Fantasy 15, where it's that ARPG. You're managing your party on the fly with their special moves, just like you would with like Gladiolus or Ingus or Noctis or whoever played that game would understand. But you got to approach it with much more of that kind of a look on things.
Yeah, look on it. And if it's not for you, that's totally fine. If you want to play a more advanced fighter, then go back and play. Fighter's still alive. Heck, right now, literally 10 minutes ago on Twitter, the UI Goku scan for fighters was just showed. So that means season 3 is going to be coming because that Paris tournament will be ending season 2, and season 3 is most likely going to be announced at that event. So it's it's a big time for Dragon Ball, no matter where.
They have enough products to cater to most people's wants and needs.
Yeah, exactly. So
I am currently only up to the first Frieza fight, which is second form because they skipped first form. And I am pretty confident. So I still have like a good 75% of the game left to play. So at this point, I still haven't done a lot of the stuff that is meant to be done in the game, but I can already be pretty confident in saying that I think this is going to end up being in my top 10 all-time best games list.
Yeah, I even for those people, because there are those naysayers out there that would probably like the gameplay and for it being, not as difficult to skill curve as fighters and stuff. But they're like, oh, I've seen Dragon Ball so many times. I know the whole story in and out. Why would I pay for this? And to those people, I say, they put so much TLC into making the scenes look so cool. Like the 4 times Kaioken Kamehameha versus Gallic Gun looked so impressively awesome that even though I knew exactly what was going to happen, I still got little goosebumps on my arms because it looked so cool.
It's literally hitting at your nostalgia strings. That's what it's doing, right? And that's what their goal was, I think, with this. It's just to make a really good, enjoyable. I don't want to use the word casual, but it's kind of the word I want to go to because you can relax and you just kick back and relax and play the game. And it's it's just a love letter to Dragon Ball fans. So
up until now, up until the point that I've gotten to in the game, I think the 3 most impressive cutscenes to me was probably at number 1, the one where Piccolo defends Gohan against Nappa. That one was
it looked so cool,
ridiculous. So that one, and then the second one was the Kaioken Kamehameha versus the Gallic Gun. That was really good too. And then the third one actually was Raccoon. It was when he was about to shoot Goku or something, and then Goku just elbows him. But that looks really good. They went really hard on that one.
Right.
But everything just looks so good.
Yeah, it's a joy to just watch it unfold, and even flying around and stuff, and just walking around, and it's giving you more freedom than any other Dragon Ball game has really to this point, unless you played that the Korean Dragon Ball MMO thing. I mean, I guess that would have world building to it, but I just like everything about the game is appealing so far to me.
I did have a question for anyone who has gone further. Did they also include some of the movie stuff? I obviously know it's not canon or anything, but did they include that, or is that going to be included in the future? Because I have seen that some people think it was a mistake to not include certain side stuff. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I haven't played that far in, obviously.
I haven't gotten to those points either, but I know there's 3 DLCs up and coming, and I know that you see Android 21 in the game. She manages a character training thing that you can go do, so she's in the game, and I know Toa and Mira are in the game as well. So it definitely wouldn't surprise me if there's not already some movie side quest stuff to do, that they will be adding it in the future. It seems like this is a game they're going to try and support kind of episodically, so
which is probably a smart idea for this type of thing. You don't want to bog it down with a ton of random costume DLC and all this other stuff. So
Yeah, I think they're going for a good format with this game, like episodic release stuff. And I think it'll probably get to the point where it's about to be like a G tier super, and that's kind of where they would probably break it off for a sequel. I wouldn't expect any G tier super stuff in this game, since the title is Dragon Ball Z. But movies, probably, if not already.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought the game yet, and I'll eventually get to it. It's got so much other stuff to go through. So, but from what I've seen, the combat looks pretty fun. I can see how it gets a little boring for some people, but I think the best part, like what Talon and everyone else is saying, is just that you're going through the story, and the amount of detail they put into the cutscenes. It just makes me relive like I'm watching the series all over again, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Well, I guess with that, then we'll end the podcast stream here. Is that all good with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch Goresh.
Yeah, everyone go head over to Gresh's channel right now. He's gonna be streaming, or I guess Gresh, you can do it like right now.
I'm gonna be taking like a little bit, like a 15 to 20, 30-minute break.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this podcast now for 2.5 hours, so give Goresh about 15-20 minutes, guys, just to rest up a little bit, and then he'll be streaming Kakarot over on his channel. So, all right, guys. So anyway, that's gonna be it for the stream for this week, though. Next week we'll have the channel on. I don't know exactly whose channel, but just keep an eye out on Twitter, obviously. That's where we all, retweet the person who's going to be hosting it then and everything like that. We'll have to talk amongst ourselves this week. If you're watching this again, or if you just got in here and you want to go back and rewatch the whole thing for some reason, there will be timestamps down below once this thing is done processing on YouTube. And yeah, we look forward to next week. We should definitely have a lot more stuff in terms of the Dokkan side. We're not really sure what Legends will bring, but we'll keep talking. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the stream, though. Until next time, everyone, we'll see you all in the next one.
Peace out, everybody.